Conference game starting here tonight at Davie County. Back to you.
Well, thanks, Dave. It's time for high school playoff football, and it's time for the playoff chase. When we come back, opening kickoff, Davie County and Mount Tabor. We return.
What a great night for high school football, and here come the Davie County Eagles onto their home field. Mark, let's dive into the keys to this matchup. Davie County, who lost in a thriller last year versus Mount Tabor. Different squads here in 24. And how did the War Eagles spread the love tonight?
Well, they've got to get it out to a couple of their different receivers tonight. We know that Ethan Driver is the leading force in that receiving corps, but some other guys have to step up, make plays tonight, and finding consistency, getting the ball down the field, and stopping Mount Tabor defensively, something that this Davie team has had issues with this year. Mount Tabor, for them, it's about limiting that passing game that we've already talked about, getting pressure on the quarterback, and then playing from ahead. Get ahead with this running game. That's where they really gain momentum and they play their best football.
Two elite receivers tonight, and for Mount Tabor, it's the senior Snook Peterkin, Virginia Tech commit. How does he change the game offensively?
Just in so many different facets. You have to know exactly where number one in blue, gold, and white is tonight. He's going to be all around the field on both sides of the football, and offensively, he's so special. And realistically, like we said, Ethan Driver is the driving force for this Davie County offense. He has been absolutely electric so far this year, over 600 yards in the air. So really important that Mount Tabor limits his ability to impact this game here tonight and get beat if they have to by other players.
Driver leads the CPC in receiving yards. And now these two league rivals. It's a playoff night for Davie County, desperately needing a win at 2-4. Mount Tabor wants a top 10 seed, and they're sitting at 4-2. You talked to Tyshawn Brown. He called it a get-back right week for his Mount Tabor club. Tough home loss. And there's Peterkin. The Virginia Tech Hokie there, number one. Not as many Division I recruits for Davie County, but a bunch of hard, physical kids tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, Snook just got hit in the face. We got some quick hands over there at Mount Tabor.
Sure do. Next generation's always got to be ready.
I'm not playing patty cake with them. So our opening kick of the night. This is Bowen Blackwell. Davie County ready to receive the football here at War Eagle Field. And we're off. Really good kick. This is returnable. Cuts at the 20 and dragged down outside the 25-yard line. That's where Max Cornaster, and the offense will get started with Gavin Reese on the return. Dave noted true freshman Jaydon Nance missed the first 2 games. He's eligible, and now in his last 4 games, Mark, the number's really good. 9 touchdowns to 2 picks.
Yeah, he's been absolutely spectacular from that quarterback spot. Tall challenge here tonight. A lot of pressure coming from this Mount Tabor front 7.
There's Nance. Handoff. Cut back. Good tackle. Jalen Davis, the safety, comes up. And he stops Braxton Bowling, the sophomore running back, part of the Mountain Fried Chicken starting lineup.
And Bowling in that running game, that offensive line have to move bodies tonight. Give this running game room to breathe and offset some of the pressure the passing game is going to face here, especially early on.
Davie County without left guard David Hicks out via injury tonight. Second down. Nance quick. Driver's first catch. And he's tackled. How about the pursuit? How important is that for Mount Tabor?
It's going to be huge, especially on those screen plays. You get those short passing plays that are supposed to be quick hitters. Your DBs and linebackers have to flow out there and be aggressive making the tackle.
Here's the Mount Tabor starting defense. Mountain Fried Chicken. Winston-Salem's original fried chicken that's not greasy. 2 Division I defenders, Snook Peterkin, Jaydon Blair in the secondary. Third down. Nance overshoots. That's incomplete. He wanted Braxton Bowling and a quick 3 and out for Davie County.
And I'm wondering if they almost ruled that as a fumble because it looked like a lateral straight down the line from the backfield that time. Nance not able to get that one down. Noticing those 2 passes right away. Those balls on those screens have just hung up in the air. They're not getting out there particularly fast. Mount Tabor make note of that. You've got to get that football out there fast. Otherwise, you're putting it in harm's way if a defender comes underneath and makes a play on it.
Here's Jaydon Blair, the Notre Dame commit. And the punter, Carson Dixon. Good punt. Blair lets it bounce. And it dies at the 31. A punt of 40 yards. Lane Albright leads this Mount Tabor starting attack. Last week, Mark, just 2 of 5 passing. How did they get him more involved in the passing game?
Well, and 2 of 5 doesn't mean he dropped back only 5 times in the game. He made some sound decisions running the football. Of course, the Davidson commit is going to use his legs as much as he can, but they've got to get the football out to their receivers again tonight, that being Snook Peterkin and Jaydon Blair on the perimeter.
First drive for Mount Tabor. Scores 30 points per game. Albright. Quick toss. Nice gain, moving the chains. Strong run for Jaydon Mahfooth. He's right at the sticks. And some design throws early for Albright.
Yeah, you see right here, the motion goes out, so Albright doesn't force anything down the field, takes the easy pass, and Mahfooth running with some authority on the back end of that.
Officially 9 yards, 6th catch of the year for Mahfooth. Albright operates the offense at 60% passing. Albright rolls right, pumps, throws, incomplete. A lot of contact, no flag, wanting Mahfooth. Sets up third down. Here's the Davie County defense. Returning starter Corbin O'Neill on that D-line, and then Elijah Chafin, the linebacker, nearing 75 tackles.
Heat-seeking missile at that linebacker spot. He's close, but he's got to be electric here tonight. Recognize where these running backs are in the running game, find them and bring them to the ground.
Davie County gave up 4 touchdowns in the first half last week. 3rd and 1. Here's pursuit. Albright keeps. Nice block. Albright. Albright! A touchdown! That's how you get the quarterback involved from 50 plus.
Fakes out the entire defense, rode the fake the whole way, sucks that defense down thinking it's a handoff to the running back, pulls it out, and from there you are wide open, one man on that side of the field, blocked up on the edge by Jaydon Blair. Excellent blocking on the perimeter. Gets it outside. You see that fake right there. The whole way in, lets the defensive end crash. That's Lane Albright out the gate. Davidson football, you have a runner at the quarterback spot.
And almost ran out of legs at the end there, just enough for the 60-yard touchdown. There's James Price for the PAT. And that is no good. So the miss wraps up the touchdown drive. Oxner and Permar touchdown. We'll take the timeout. It's the Lane Albright show early. He scores from 60 here in Mocksville.
No worries.
Here's tonight's Skywatch weather game forecast from Chief Meteorologist Jonathan Wendt. Little chilly tonight, but great weather overall.
Feels like football weather. We're finally here in October. Nice weather tonight. Little chilly. Kind of happened pretty quickly, too, at that. But I'll tell you what, you get the hoodies on right here in the middle of the high school football season. It's where you want to be.
And the Davie County student section, they want the football back after Tabor goes 70 yards in 3 plays. Blackwell to boot of the way. Returnable. Now the return. Good hole. Tabor all over it defensively. And Ohio keeps moving. Hold on to the 28. Heck of a return.
Great effort on the back end by the blockers and the return man getting down the field.
That was somehow Zy Robinson coming out with it. How do you find more success on this drive if you're Drayton Nance in the offense?
Well, we've got to come out, and those screen plays have to hit, and they have to hit quick. They didn't execute properly when they've gotten the chance.
Nance on first down. Quick route. There's Driver, his second catch of the night. Led the league, the Central Piedmont, in total receptions. He's a vital part of the offense.
He sure is, and he really does it all for what this offense asks for. Those short passing routes, the intermediate ones that go down the field, and of course attacking deep. He is sure-handed and reliable.
Davie running fast on second down. Quick hole. Nice tackle. Spun down by Jalen Davis on the D-line, who has started at safety, corner, D-line, linebacker. He is a Swiss Army knife.
No Matthias Banks tonight along that defensive line either, so there's got to be guys that step up and crowd the line of scrimmage tonight. Garrison's one of those dudes.
Malik Garrison, great point, middle linebacker, all CPC. Now third down. Handoff, demolished. Great pursuit. That's DeIvory Prier combining with John Coles.
Prier's been the guy. Saw it a couple times last week against that big East Forsyth offensive line crowding in there, but he was not alone. There was an army of Spartans in the backfield that time. Nowhere to go for Bowling. Another 3 and out. This Mount Tabor defense, hard game last week, but you're coming out these first 2 drives and setting a tone.
6 plays, 6 total yards. Here's the punt. Jaydon Blair. Now picks it up. Oh, he almost touched it. Oh, mini heart attack if you're Mount Tabor. And instead, a long punt to the 22.
I just don't understand it sometimes.
You're scary as a coach.
You're playing with fire so many times, and I don't know the reason to try to fake them out. And they're just going to flock to the football. Nevertheless, Lane Albright in this offense, 3 plays and a score. Past midfield, great first drive. Now how do you put together a drive where you may have to sustain it and you don't have that big play?
Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. Caring Hands Home Health. We understand the happiness of your loved ones is important to their wellness. Lane Albright goes 60 on his first drive for the touchdown. Has Jamarius Hunter in for the first time in 3 weeks, back from injury. Hunter, the tailback, takes it, spins away. Hunter goes forward and turns nothing into 6. Nice run for the sophomore.
This is a formula for these Mount Tabor running backs tonight. Hunter, another guy we saw, Zion Thompson last week, Kamari Shell, really tote the rock very well for this Mount Tabor offense. Now you bring in Jamarius Hunter, and what Coach called when we told him this week, a three-headed monster. You see it there, shedding those tackles, getting those legs churning, just like the other two backs.
274 yards rushing last week versus East. Now 2nd and 3. Mahfooth spun down. Great tackle. And here's Corbin O'Neill extending the defense.
You gotta wonder, maybe a couple guys are gonna see a little bit more action this week. We didn't see much of Mahfooth last week against East Forsyth, but now a couple of different plays. The third play that go in his direction so far tonight, nothing doing. Great job extending that play out towards the sideline. O'Neill brings it down.
2-year starter on the defensive line, replacing all CPC D tackle Matty Warner, who had 100 tackles last year.
Now these third, medium, third and long situations, what is Lane Albright going to be able to do?
Albright fires. Nice catch. First down, Mount Tabor. And again, the pile finally comes down. That moves the chains for Angelo Moreno, the Crescent Ford first down. And Moreno was swallowed up by so many guys, I couldn't tell you who caught it.
Exactly, but look, Lane Albright, good quick pass. That is where you want to go. The first read, throwing as the way the play is designed. Good pocket for him to stand in, everything executing right there for Mount Tabor to pick up the first.
Now from the 35, Hunter cuts in. There's a flag, and Hunter has the first, barring a possible hold. This might be coming back. Here's our lead referee tonight, Chris Bergen. First penalty for Mount Tabor tonight.
Jaydon Mahfooth again on the perimeter that time. A little too much cloth. Looked like it was good. Hunter follows his blocks wide open. Yeah.
Could be a block in the back.
But yeah, the block in the back was probably the better call there.
So 1st and 16. Blitz coming. Albright escapes. Albright runs. Albright gets 7. He's playing at Davidson next year, and his ability to break tackles, that's special.
But just break tackles and read the defense, take what is given to you. Those option offenses, you've got to be picky. Make those split-second decisions. See it here, keeps those eyes down the field, picks up those yards, gives him just enough cushion to gain another couple more yards at the end of the run.
The Davidson Wildcats have won 2 straight Pioneer Football League titles. It's an offense that averages 400 yards rushing a game. Dynamic. And now a flag. Pre-snap movement, possibly. This is on the defense. So 1st and 16 turns into 2nd and 5 pretty quick.
And if you're Davie County, really that's inexcusable. You go from that 1st and 16, Albright gets those yards back, and then you have the procedure penalty there. You've got to be more disciplined.
Now 2nd and 5. Great option. Fumble! Albright jumps on it. Remember, Hunter missed the last 2 weeks, and you're seeing it right there.
A little bit of miscommunication. Credit Lane Albright for hopping on that football and saving the day, a la Dak Prescott this past Sunday, or Monday potentially, against the Steelers. Hops right back on the football and saves this drive. There were a host of War Eagles right there.
5 Mount Tabor fumbles this year.
Yeah.
Avoided a big 6th.
But now again, 3rd and long. This passing game has to find something through the air here and pick up that fresh set of downs.
Albright throws deep. Blair brings it in. Jaydon Blair wrestling to the 15. Needed 9, gets 45.
Oh, Notre Dame fans, you gotta love seeing that one. Jaydon Blair, your all-star recruit, going up in the air, climbing the ladder. Look at this snag over coverage. How about the hands to high point that football and go make a play for your quarterback on 3rd and long.
That's a grown man entering the Cook Reynolds red zone. 1st and 10 now for Albright. Hunter cuts it back. Nice pursuit on a gain of 3.
It kind of seems like Hunter is just kind of taking too long to make those cuts, just going down the field. You've got to attack quicker, get this defense off balance. But right now, that Davie County front is doing a good job of murkying the water, clouding it up, and not allowing him to find a hole clearly.
Mount Tabor only averaging 2 yards a rush in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 8. Albright, end zone. There's Blair. Bangs in a 1 to the 8. Better tackling tonight for Davie County. They missed 15 tackles versus Reagan.
Yeah, they did. They need to be better here tonight against some bigger bodies and a more physical team. If we're being honest, Reagan is a very good football team, but Mount Tabor just may be the most physical team by nature in the CPC. So that's a huge challenge for them tonight in Davie County. Can you match that physicality?
Can Blaine Nicholson's defense get a stop here on 3rd and 2? Here's 3rd down. Blair cuts it. Blair spins. Blair short to the 1. That is a 1st down. His vision is next level.
It sure is. And I think this is probably the most, in games we've seen of Mount Tabor here the last couple of years, the most involvement already we've seen of Jaydon Blair offensively. They're getting him some touches, some burn, and it's working right now. That length is getting where it needs to go. He's running physically there. Sets him up pretty at the 1 yard line.
Blair exits. In comes Hunter in the backfield. It's the fullback diving. Did he get in? No, he's short. That's the fullback, Nas Blackman, and it's 2nd down.
How about that?
Blackman says run it again. He scored last week with 1 shoe.
Yeah. And that's a big man running the football in the middle of all of that mess. Only 205 pounds, but he runs behind those pads so well.
Here's 2nd and goal. Play action. Albright pumps. Touchdown. 2 rushing scores and a nice red zone read.
Again, play calling there. That defense is following those running backs, thinking short yardage, it's got to be a run. Lane Albright pulls that football out on the naked bootleg that time, pumps into the end zone. It was almost unnecessary. Waltzes in for his 2nd score of the night.
That's an Oxnard Permar touchdown. We make wrongs right. And after a missed extra point, trying to make the wrong right for 2. Albright's in at quarterback. Motion man Blair. Whoa, direct snap, double pass. Intercepted. Oh, it's a pick. That's a stop. Okay, that had everything. Elijah Chafin pick. After a 12-play, 77-yard drive. So I thought the receiver caught it, and then he ripped it out of his hands. Crazy stuff. Elijah Chafin making a play, and he now takes a seat. We'll take the timeout. 2-score game for Mount Tabor here on My 48. Tonight's game is also being streamed live on our YouTube and Facebook page. Novant Health, best physicians, amazing nurses, and remarkable care. 2 early touchdowns for Mount Tabor. Top 10 team in the state. And the 4A bracket that heats up here in the final month. Davie County one of the last teams in to the 4A playoffs if the year ended today. And all Tabor through this first quarter.
So pivotal for Davie to come away with a win here tonight. They got some work to do. It starts on this drive.
Here's Bowen Blackwell to kick things off. Blackwell, good kick. Returnable for Chafin. Spins off one and gets to the 30. 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs for Davie County. Drake Nance, who fills huge shoes. Remember, former quarterback Ty Miller, 30 touchdowns last year, all CPC, and a brand new freshman leading the charge here in year 1.
And really, you think about the work that he's done so far. That 9-to-2 ratio for touchdowns and interceptions for a freshman is shining. I mean, that is spectacular. And Davie's going to have to work him in. He's going to get better as he goes along. But even that 9-2 mark, you got to give him some respect. He does pose a threat in this passing game. Obviously, when you've got guys like an Ethan Driver, like a Leon Bradshaw, these guys are going to make catches and they're going to make plays, but you still got to get the ball out to them.
Drake Nance, viewed mature beyond his years, according to head coach Tim Deveritz, who's worked here for 20 years now at Davie County.
It's a man who's seen a lot of football, and he's seen a lot of good football come through here as well. So he knows a good football player when he lays his eyes on one. Drake Nance is going to be the next guy here at Davie. It may take a little bit of time to get him rounded in a form where he's a true threat overall, but he's done a good job managing the game here his freshman year.
3rd drive for Nance, works empty. Pressure coming. Nance throws it away, pick. Blair the other way. The Notre Dame standout with the pick.
Noted on the first drive how aggressive Mount Tabor had been defensively. Jumping those routes, they see those short passing routes. This time the defensive front flushes him out, does a great job. Blair reads it the entire way, jumps the route, comes up with the pick, and almost takes it back, if not for a touchdown-saving tackle on the edge there by Braxton Bowling.
Think about the elite playmakers in Al Golden's defense at Notre Dame, including All-American a year ago, Kyle Hamilton, the top safety in college football. That's the next generation of Jaydon Blair.
Yeah, it certainly is. He certainly fits the mold of what the Fighting Irish are looking for in their DBs.
Blair off the pick now in offense. Here's Hunter. Reverse and a fumble. It's Davie County football. Big mistake, and Austin Heath scoops it up.
Trying to do a reverse that time, and just ill-advised. Sometimes you got to be smart as the running back there. Just eat that loss. You cannot try to pitch that football while you're being tackled. Tried to get the reverse going there. Hunter puts it on the floor, and just as Mount Tabor gets the football back in their possession, they cough it right back up to the other way, going to Davie.
That's a huge mistake for Mount Tabor. Now, can Davie take advantage of the turnover? First down. Quick toss, nearly picked, and almost 3 turnovers on 3 plays.
That ball, it almost looked like it had been tipped. You see here the turnover, trying to get it back out there along the edge. Mahfooth was coming back around the outside. And again, Hunter, you just got to eat that football, man.
That's a hard one to hand off.
Yeah. You just got to eat that play.
5 fumbles for Tabor this year. Here's Nance. More pressure. Nance fires, good catch. And right at the sticks, just short. That's Landon Hughes, the freshman, his fellow JV teammate a year ago.
I'll tell you what, that was a snare. Straight out of the air, right at the sticks. What a play by Hughes.
Nance on first down. Good hole. Nice run. Open space. Bowling down the sideline. And here's life. Braxton Bowling goes for 40.
Ask yourself, has Davie County run the football well this year? Not very well, but they finally get a big play on the ground this time. Bowling making his way through that offensive front, breaks into the clear, and then the balance puts the hand on the turf to keep going down the field before being ushered out of bounds.
And now a false start on Davie County. This is a Davie County team that lost its all-CPC running back, Markel Summers, a 3,000 career yard rusher and scored 40 touchdowns. There's some huge shoes to fill on offense.
Markel Summers was so good. Every time we saw him, it was noted he had great power, but that straight line speed was otherworldly. Big task for Bowling, but great run there. Good start to the game.
Ants feeds Bowling. Spins off one and actually gains 2 yards. He talked to this coaching staff. They love how Bowling can show glimpses, right?
Yep.
The 40-yard run. Now he's got to put it all together in year one.
And these are plays against Mount Tabor that are going to be had potentially. When they are so aggressive, sometimes that leads to some careless mistakes. You can capitalize, you can get those chunk plays.
Second down. Nance short. Nice catch. Bradshaw broken tackle. Bradshaw to the 10. And how about the second effort there of Leon Bradshaw?
Just watching the play develop in front of him. Great job using his eyes and switching speeds at the right time, slowing down, letting the play and the blocks develop down the field. Watch right here, stops for a second, lowers the shoulder, and then the balance again down the field.
First and goal, end zone. Driver has it at the inch line. Third catch for Ethan Driver.
Not bad. The sideline work, the concentration from your all-conference receiver, Ethan Driver. Yes, sir. That is one heck of a play.
45th catch for Driver. Now first and goal. Bowling, quarterback. He's in. Touchdown. Drayton Nance from 1 yard out.
You throw the pick and you're thinking, man, it could get ugly here. Mount Tabor on the next play coughs it up, and then a couple of chunk plays. Great execution across the board, and the freshman Nance taking it in on the keeper. And just like that, Davie County at home playing for their playoff lives. Have life.
4th rushing touchdown for Nance. Here's the extra point. Max McCall. Max McGood, and it's a 5-point game. 7 plays, 76 yards, all due to that guy, Drake Nance.
Just excellent job faking the football, keeping it a little close there at the goal line, but you just got to sneak it right across, gets right in front of Jaydon Blair, takes the hit, and takes the score too. What a play by the freshman, what a drive to respond after making the interception.
Only Nance's 4th career start at the high school level, and he's shown some moxie on that drive.
Look, you're a freshman, you're thrust into this role with the expectation that you still have to produce for a program that knows how to win, knows what winning looks like. No small task, but again, a little shaky to start. You throw the pick, and how do you respond with a touchdown drive that you end with a run? That's what you want to see out of your freshman quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Davie County, 7 wins last year, hosted Mount Tabor in the playoffs, and now the new revamped young roster coming to play.
I'll tell you, that's a heck of an answer by Davie County.
7 plays later, we have a 5-point game.
Knocked around a little bit, but not down.
Dixon, the kickoff. It's short. Returnable for Tabor. Good tackle. And now spun down at the 30. So Angelo Moreno tripped up with 35 seconds left in the first. Both teams struggling to tackle tonight.
Yeah, they are. And again, you come off those physical games that they had. Reagan, a physical football team. East Forsyth has so much size. So for both Davie and Mount Tabor, coming to this one a little more hobbled. Coaches said about as much this week. You got to get a couple guys a little bit extra burn here and there. Let them play through it.
3rd drive for Mount Tabor, a fumble and 2 touchdowns. Here's drive 4. Albright throws through the hands of Moreno. First incompletion for Albright tonight.
Trying to go that way against corner Gavin Reese, and Reese was right there, just plastered all over the back of Moreno. High throw there, a little dangerous. Maybe what coverage?
Sorry, Mark. We have not seen Snook Peterkin yet on offense tonight, the all-CPC receiver. Here's 2nd and 10. Albright. Time. Good pump fake. Knocked out of bounds. That's Elijah Chafin, the tackles leader in the conference, as a true sophomore.
Good job by the defense, too, to know where the routes were behind them Only one guy down the field on that side of the field, and that was Moreno all the way down past the 35-yard line of Davie County. So good job not falling for the pump fake, getting up in the air.
Here's 3rd and 11. Mount Tabor ran the ball for 280 yards last week. Only threw it for 40. A little different tonight. 3rd down blitz. Picked up. Albright deep. Blair gets the flag. That's on the defense.
Pretty easy call, too. They're going to look up and say, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to tell you right now, that was a PI to save a touchdown.
That's Landon King, the senior in coverage. Remember, in high school, those are only 10-yard penalties, not spot fouls. Otherwise, Blair probably has a touchdown.
He does. Unless that ball is overthrown, I mean, he had the go route right there. He had inside leverage and a full head of steam. You're grabbing and holding on for dear life.
Apologies, the referee's mic is out, but it is a hold.
Not automatic first down. You see right there, gets pulled, gets tugged. And if he's not, the camera kind of misses it, but he got pulled on the back end of that route. If he's not, it's a pretty clear shot into the end zone there.
Jaydon Blair exits for one play. And what could be the final play of the quarter, 3rd and 1. The old wishbone. Handoff, Mahfooth. Mahfooth is loose! Down the sideline! Mahfooth, touchdown! 3rd and 1 turns into a 61-yard score.
Mount Tabor's not known for the explosive plays. It's those long, methodical drives that wear the defense out. But tonight, they're all about the flair. They're going the distance from deep down the field. This time, Mahfooth, we've seen a couple touches so far tonight. The beneficiary of great blocking up front, great scheme call, and straight line speed down the field. What a play at the end of the first quarter.
How about 2 scores of 60 plus from Mount Tabor? Albright and then Mahfooth, who called a shot before he scored.
Davie County answered. Well, they were right back in this football game. Great job by Mahfooth and this Mount Tabor offense to respond right away.
Now an 11-point game, going for 2. Albright, options. Nice catch and a 2-point Moreno. So now it's 20-7. Make up for some of the misses. Wow, the explosiveness of Mount Tabor, that's been a surprise tonight.
It has been. And they've done a really nice job, again, responding through their own adversity, fumbling on the last drive right after an interception. Come right down the field. And Evan, we're so used to seeing Jaydon Blair. We're so used to seeing Snook Biederkin making plays, these running backs. Tonight, so far, it's been the receivers. It's been Mahfooth. It's been Moreno that have made their plays. Blair has made a couple catches as well, including another huge downfield shot. So it's been these other guys that we're not used to seeing coming up through and making those plays when they're needed most.
Tyshawn Brown told us this week, I challenged my coordinators to get more players involved.
Yeah.
We've seen Mahfooth, we've seen Moreno. Other guys who aren't playing college football at the highest level are making things happen.
Yeah, and it serves a couple different purposes. One, of course, you need to have guys who are going to contribute across the board. That helps your offense, helps your defense, helps your special teams, helps everything. But on top of that, you're also getting guys rested. I mean, if you have more guys where you can spread the wealth around to and you feel like they're going to contribute, you can trust them to be a factor when they're on the field, helps out your team on game-to-game situations throughout the season, and certainly once the playoffs come around.
3 scores, 3 different players from Mount Tabor, and none the 4-star players Peterkin or Blair. Here's Blackwell's kick. The shortest of the day, very returnable. And that ends the first quarter. When we come back, second quarter here in Mocksville, North Carolina. High-scoring conference affair with Tabor up 13. tonight's winning row. Everybody in that row will get free tickets to the Carolina Classic Fair, October 4th to the 13th. Carolina Classic Fair, 10 days of awesome tickets available now. Dave, if you're down there, good luck, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well, as are these guys. You know, I don't know about the shorts, but they're doing really well. Hey, you know, we touched on the playoffs a little bit in the open, and I mentioned that only the champion gets the automatic berth in the playoffs. Any other berth goes on an RPI, or ratings percentage index, and that's why both these teams, especially Mount Tabor, would like to keep things rolling off the loss to East Forsyth. Only one loss in conference. Davie has two. Davie cannot afford to lose a game tonight.
And Dave, thank you, Davie. Now down 2 scores. Nance to pass on second down. Screen tipped and picked. 2 interceptions. That's Kamari Shell with the pick.
Credit Shell for following that play. Really good job just watching the play develop, coming across the field. High throw, tipped up in the air by Driver coming across the field. Nothing he could do there, but the eyes of Kamari Shell lead him to that football. Watching the entire way, you saw right there, gets those hands up in the air. Really nice play by the linebacker and running back offensively. Second turnover of the night for Davie is costly here deep in their own territory.
Mount Tabor's defense, no interceptions entering tonight. Those are 2 big ones.
Yep.
For Tyshawn Brown's defense.
You got to ask yourself, with guys like Peterkin, with Blair, and now certainly we're talking about Shell, how do you make up for having those lack of turnovers? That's playing stout defense, and that's what they've done all year.
Off the turnover, Albright. Play action. Time. Albright escapes. Scrambles. Mahomes-esque. There's a block in the back. Albright runs and gets the yardage back, but there's going to be a big penalty.
At some point, you have to ask yourself, as a coaching staff, and really Lane Albright just talking to himself there, you got to throw the football away, man. Just live to play another down. Now, because of all that, you've got everyone in a scramble drill, potentially a penalty here, or at least a loss going into second down.
What do you got for us, Chris Bergen? Now that turns a first just inside the red zone to now a first and forever.
Running backwards the entire time. You're right there. Just throw it out of bounds. Live to play another down there, but you keep going, you lose yards, and then you draw a penalty.
Okay, so it's only a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage.
Right, correct.
Apologies. It's not a spot foul.
But even then, you're talking about, instead of 1st and 20, it's 2nd and 10. You're in a much more favorable spot at that point if you get rid of the football.
Albright off the penalty. Now he runs. Albright jukes. Albright dives forward. We talked to Tyshawn Brown, head coach. He wants the running game of Albright to be a factor. It's playing a good factor tonight.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, obviously on the first drive, he goes 60 yards for the first touchdown of the evening between both teams. But it's finding those spots, picking and choosing when to run the football to offset the defense so they can't key in on your other players offensively.
But a holding brings it back for Coach Tyshawn Brown, who's now won 66 games at Mount Tabor in year 7, won a state title in 2021. And his son, Kingston, is the JV quarterback, expected to start next year.
Talking to him pregame, said over the last, I believe it was 3 games, had 9 touchdowns total.
For his young son, Kingston. That'll be a fun year next year at Mount Tabor.
Sure will.
Back-to-back penalties. It's 1st and 30. Blitz. Screen. Shell the catch. Juke. Fumble. Out of bounds. Let's see. Did anybody grab this? Now a little shoving match and a late foul. Oh, no. If you're Davie County, you can't give away a first down here.
You got to be smart there, and that's really for both sides, honestly. Be interested to see where this comes from, but given that it's along that Davie sideline, you got to think that maybe that's the case. It's right there.
This would have been 2nd and like 28 for Tim Devericks, who's in year 20 on the staff. There's no flag. Interesting. Tim Debricks, who's moved into the AD role in the last 5 years. Let's watch the end of this play.
Shell the concentration. Good follow-up defensively to make that hit.
Yeah, nothing illegal there on the hit.
Not the certainly not on the hit.
Plus, there's something after the fact.
It had to have been along the sideline, some sort of action, something said. But it certainly wasn't on the hit. It was a good, clean football play. Good job by Davie to sniff that one out. Follow up, and the pursuit makes that play happen.
What's the game plan here on 2nd and 26?
Well, if you're Mount Tabor, you gotta look to air it out, get some of those yards back here. Look in Jaydon Blair's direction. He's made a couple nice plays so far.
Here's 2nd down. Quick toss. That's a lateral to Mahfooth. Wants yardage back, and Mahfooth loses yards. Great pursuit by Davie County.
At this point, you're just running here on 3rd down. Get the drive out of the way. Play field position here now. But another squandered opportunity so far to this point in the drive. 2 turnovers tonight. You start in plus territory, deep in plus territory on both drives. First drive ends after 1 play with a fumble. Now this one has gone backwards in a massive way.
Remember, it's 3rd and 31.
Yeah.
Tabor has to get to the 18.
Talking about the fair, it's about back at the fair at this point.
Got to get to the hay barn here on 3rd down. Albright fires. Mahfooth needs 10 more. Mahfooth to the 23. Well, now it's 4th and 7. Makes you think.
And now you think about where your field goal kicker is. Do you trust him from this range? Because if you don't, the offense stays out there, you run another play. Surprisingly, soft coverage there. Mahfooth works underneath, gets those extra yards off their contact, sets them up with a pretty manageable 4th down.
So it's 4th and 6. Remember, Snook Peter cannot in on offense tonight. The 2nd leading receiver of the Central Piedmont. So in comes Jaydon Mahfooth. Shell, the tailback, on 4th down. 4th down, Albright. Pump fake, scrambles out, has a block. Blair, Jaydon Blair, touchdown! The Notre Dame commit left on an island, and he cashes in for the score.
It goes against everything they tell you to do as a quarterback. Don't throw back across your body to the middle of the field. Unless, of course, you've got a 4- to 5-star recruit sitting there wide open, then you probably throw it in his direction. Great job by Albright, feeling the defense, rolling out and keeping his eyes downfield, and Blair feeling everything shift to the right side of the field, stays back, hoping his quarterback finds him. He does. Easy pitch and catch for another Mount Tabor touchdown.
How about 3rd and 31 turning into a touchdown?
I'll tell you what, not where you want to be. And Coach Tyshawn Brown will be the first one to tell you that. You don't want to be looking at 3rd and 31 to score, but they find a way to get it done on 4th down.
Now Tabor going for 2. Albright lobs. Blair out of bounds. He caught it, but not in play. A nearly flawless drive for Jaydon Blair.
I'll tell you what, we know the force that he is as a defensive back. Safety spot's so pivotal. Already has his first interception of the year in this game. But now the touchdown catch, nice and easy. Jaydon Blair contributing in a huge way at Davie County, and the Spartans are rolling in the 2nd quarter.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. Caring Hands Home Health. We do our best to make your loved ones feel like they're being taken care of. And Lane Albright's keeping the whole family happy. Yeah. 4 touchdowns, 4 different players tonight. 2
on the ground, 2 through the air, and he is executing at a high level. We were wondering coming into this game, last week only those 5 passing attempts. What does the passing game for Mount Tabor look like here tonight? Lane Albright has been pretty darn good when he's put the football in the air, running it. We know what he can do. But we heard throughout the last 2 weeks when we've had Mount Tabor on the schedule how this passing game has evolved because of the understanding that Lane Albright has now coming into his senior year. And it's been on full display so far tonight.
Albright 8 of 10 for 111 yards, his best passing night of the year. And now Bowen Blackwell to send it away. Blackwell, who was on the soccer team in the preseason, found at practice and brought on to football just 3 weeks ago. Chance to return this for Davie County. Little dipsy-do. And Malik Garrison sniffs it out. A tackle around the 20. And then some late pushing and shoving. Looks like Gavin racing everybody's okay.
Yep. A little bit of chippiness. Obviously plays the stakes for what Davie needs here tonight. It is effectively, in the month of October, and early October at that, a playoff game for them. They've got to come away with a victory, and a tall task now. Down those 19 points against a very good football team. You've got to answer here on this drive and get yourself back in this football game.
And the offense started with a 40-yard run for Jaydon Nance in a lone scoring drive. There's Nance from his 25. Feeds Blackwell. Bowling cuts it out. And Bowling hit hard out of bounds at the 40. Nice gain of 15.
Job by Bowling, getting outside the tackle that time, senses the seal blocks right there, bounces that thing out, works the sideline. Nice run by Bowling.
That's a Little Tractor first down. Little Tractor making Tallgrass short.
Right here, feeling that block, gets outside. Good blocking up front by that offensive line.
Quarterback keeps. Nice run for the backup QB, Aiden Hall, and he gets 11 to move the chains. Or pardon me, that is Drayton Nance.
When you're a young quarterback, one of the things that aids you, especially in today's game more than anything else, is your ability to work your legs and run the football. Drayton Nance has done a good job tonight of that.
And we have an injured player for Mount Tabor. Athletic training staff comes out for both teams. Certainly hope that Landon Ryman's, oh, hold on, let's verify that, is okay. Okay, that's Tartan Thacker, one of the backup defensive linemen, and Jalen Davis as well. Jalen Davis in there. Good to see Jalen back on his feet. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the USA Army halftime report. This week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar athletes, interviews with the coaches, principals, and more. The U.S. Army, be all that you can be. And of course at halftime, Carolina Classic Fair food that we will demolish. Some on camera, some on the field. We'll give you a taste of the whole fair.
Looking forward to that. It's a pretty decadent menu that we have tonight too.
Yeah, we got some inside sources here. Lori Bates, our producer, telling us we got deep fried turkey wings, moonshine chicken, donuts from Josephine's, and deep fried banana pudding. Oh, that was a winner last year.
Oh, mama.
Oh, good thing I have some room in my tummy.
Tell you what, got out to the fair on Monday this week, and it's a time. It's a great time to get out there. Of course, with the fall weather now setting into, this is going to be a great weekend to go.
Drayton Nance back to work. He feels pressure. Driver the catch. Driver breaks the tackle and gets to the 46. 3 catches for Driver tonight.
Working those short routes, just crossing over the field. Pressure right there. Drayton Nance knows where to go to. It's your security blanket, and Ethan Driver, your do-everything receiver.
Driver had 270 yards in a game earlier this year. And a nice first down run. Moving the chains goes Braxton Bowling for 15. More explosive plays on this drive.
We've seen a couple of them, and they've been doing really good work up front. Those offensive linemen have been getting those holes open. Right now, Braxton Bowling is seeing everything open up and taking advantage.
Back-to-back first downs. Nance. Keeper. Escapes. Good slide. And earns 3.
Interesting by Nance that time, because that was a fake where he was supposed to take it outside. Must have seen something out there that he did not like, because he put his foot in the ground right away and went straight back into the middle of that formation and got what he could.
He saw the DN Will Rowe. Here's second down. Through the hands and picked. Second interception, Kamari Shell. And right through the fingers of Bradshaw.
Second interception tonight on a tipped ball, and much less Kamari Shell is the beneficiary of it. Again, right place at the right time. Right here just goes a little high. Bradshaw can't bring that in, and Kamari Shell, again, watching the football, locates it, gets his hands underneath it. That's a clean pick. Timely at that too, because Davie was having a drive take place right there. They were moving the football against that defense. Mount Tabor bends yet again, but does not break.
2 interceptions for Shell, who had 1 pick in his career coming in. Now Lane Albright and crew with 2 tailbacks to work. Here's Zion Thompson, the power back. Stiff arm. Thompson powers forward. And nearly 10 yards, over 250 yards offense. Tabor's pounding the rock tonight.
I'll tell you what, Evan, that was a nice little run by Zion Thompson. We know him for being the power back in this offense. Look at this little stop in the backfield. Gets through there, gets the feet going yet again, back up to full speed, and then finishes the run, as we know Zion Thompson can, with punishment and authority.
This is the type of running that can take Mount Tabor to the next level. A powerful back in Thompson, nearing 2,000 career yards. Quarterback keeps. Not much there. And a hard hit after a gain of 1. Good pursuit by Marcus Fortune and the defensive line.
And that's what Davie's got to have more of, especially now halfway through the second quarter. This offense really has done a lot what it wanted to do. Even, again, that drive, 3rd and 31, they've been able to move the ball at will when they haven't been shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and miscues. As long as they're staying on schedule, they're getting their way with this Davie defense. That has to come to an end for the War Eagles.
Here's 2nd and 9. Albright, the blitz. Hunter spun down. Great pursuit. That's Dylan Miller, the backup linebacker.
Shot through that offensive line like he was out of a cannon. And Hunter, coming back from injury, just looks like he's a step slower right now. Watch, he cannot get away from that pursuit right there. And Jamarius Hunter has been a little slower tonight than we were expecting for that starting running back in Mount Tabor.
After a tough first quarter for tackling, much better form finishing for Davie County.
Yeah, they are. And that's a great play in the backfield. One-on-one, you've got only one guy back there. Nice job.
Now 3rd and 13, and a whistle and a timeout. Mount Tabor to talk it over.
Evan, one of the keys to the game tonight for Davie County was finding consistency. And normally on 3rd and long, that's exactly where you want Mount Tabor to be. But so far tonight, those 3rd and long shots, they've been able to get shots down the field, take advantage of what Davie's done.
We'll take the timeout. Mount Tabor up on 3rd down when we return to Mocksville, North Carolina. Welcome back to Davie County High School. Stay tuned for the U.S. Army halftime report of this week's Tatum and Atkinson's athletes, interviews with the coaches, principals, and more. The U.S. Army, be all that you can be. Midway through this second quarter, Mount Tabor facing another 3rd and long. They had a 3rd and 31 earlier tonight and scored a touchdown. Let's see what Lane Albright can drop on 3rd and 14. Here's a blitz. Albright, deep shot. Blair again. Breaks a tackle. Blair jukes. Again. Touchdown. Notre Dame has something special with Jaydon Blair.
Eat your heart out, South Bend, Indiana. What a path for Jaydon Blair. Not from the safety spot where he has a pick, but as a wide receiver in this football game. No Snook Peterkin, no problem. He has been as advertised tonight. High points the football, go route abusing Gavin Reese on the back end, and then watch the catch and run. The instincts to cut back not once but twice and use that length to get to the end zone.
You get Reggie Bush vibes against Fresno State in 05. Jaydon Blair juking all over the field.
He is a specimen of it.
Now a 2-point play. Albright, out of time. Needs some help. Throws it deep. No, incomplete. Through Moreno's hands. You can't blame Albright there. He tried his best.
No, you can't, and that's a painful play right there. Good on Albright to get back up and go down the field to Moreno. But to do all that work on both ends, you're freeing yourself. Moreno does a great job of coming back to that side of the field.
Oh, and he lost it.
Just can't secure the football. All that effort, you want to pay off right there. You do everything right, but catch the football. Just alligator onto it a little bit.
Oh. 4 plays and 77 yards. Tonight's game is also being streamed on our YouTube and Facebook page. Novant Health, best physicians, amazing nurses, remarkable care. And keep an eye on number 1. That's Snook Peterkin, our player to watch coming in. He's not suited up tonight. The other guy's stepping up.
It'd be worth noting that when we started the game, we showed him on your television screen at home that he did not have a hoodie on. And now very magically he does. So that's usually a pretty good indicator that he is not going to be playing here tonight. But man, I'll tell you what, in his stead, at the wide receiver spot, we know what Snook Peterkin can do. Jaydon Blair has been a magician at that wide receiver spot tonight.
Jaydon Blair playing a lot more offense tonight and making some magic things happen.
I mean, he's sizzling right now.
He has 2 touchdowns and a pick.
Yeah, he is on fire. And keep in mind, these aren't short touchdowns. He had the one on the last drive where he comes back to Albright scrambling, wide open, so great job working your route there. And then that time, it's all talent and effort that time. Jaydon Blair is an animal.
4 explosive scores from Mount Tabor tonight. And there's Blackwell. Short kick. Chance for a return. Here's a hole. And out to the 35-yard line goes Davie County. A couple of self-inflicted wounds tonight. How do you take advantage of these last 5 minutes if you're Davie County?
Execute. You got to execute, execute, execute. It's the name of the game right now, and it's starting to slip away from the War Eagles tonight. But how do you get back in it? You've got to sustain a drive here, get some points back on the board, most likely in the form of a touchdown, and get yourself a puncher's chance as the first half comes to a close.
And now we have, is that an injured Malik Garrison? Uh-oh. Linebacker who suddenly cramped up. Yeah, he's going to ask for some help from the trainers, our friends at Novant Health.
Even at 58 degrees right now, still been a little hotter at the beginning of this week, so it's been a massive shift.
And Mount Tabor plays both ways.
Correct.
For the large part. No Snook Peterkin tonight. He's out for Tabor. It's not a fully healthy Tabor squad who played 2 games last week. It looks like Garrison's going to limp his way off.
Head to the sideline, get stretched out, get some Gatorade. Maybe a banana.
Unless you're Adam Sandler in the Deep South, then it's H2O all the way.
H2O.
Bobby Boucher, All-American Bobby Boucher.
All-American Bobby Boucher.
That's what Kamari Shell hopes to do in the middle of this defense along with Malik Garrison. Speaking of All-Americans, there's Jaydon Blair chilling. with 5 minutes left before half.
Kind of feels like he's earned it. A little bit of a breather.
5 minutes to go before halftime. Nance heaves. Driver picked off. Mahfooth. 4 interceptions for Mount Tabor. 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. 4 turnovers. Wow.
Well, for a team that did not have any interceptions coming in tonight, when you start thinking about if you're going to go on to the second hand when you're counting, not a bad night for your defensive backfield. That time is just telegraphed. You're trying to make a play deep down the field. Nance knows he's trying to go to Driver. Mount Tabor said it throughout the week. We're going to know exactly where number 2 in black and orange is at all times. You have them go over the top, and Mahfooth, who has already got a touchdown in this game himself, now two-sided monster, touchdown and a pick.
Jaydon Mahfooth, the dark side Edward Scissorhands, coming into town, ruining your night for the orange and black at home. Lane Albright back to work, fresh off the pick. Goes short. Here's a junior varsity receiver going up for varsity this week. Jaydon Crowell with the catch and a first down.
This is where those receivers come into play, not just receivers, but those players on the JV level, you want them to contribute once they come up to varsity. This is their chance to do that. Get a little bit of burn in this game, see what they can do.
Snook Peterkin and Jaydon Blair, I'd imagine, be out for the rest of the game, getting rest. So it's a lot of new faces for Mount Tabor.
Such a physical game last week. That 7-point loss against ECU, some players are going to rest.
Quick toss. There's Crowell again. Now he has the first and dragged out of bounds. How important is depth in the high school football season?
That's huge. And for teams in this area, they're not going to have some of the bigger rosters as some other teams maybe in the Charlotte area, the Raleigh area, just by pure numbers. Right, so they've got to have guys that go both ways. That increases the fatigue on their bodies. So when you have an opportunity like tonight where Snook Peterkin doesn't play in this football game, he gets rested for the long haul, Mount Tabor knows where they're going to be. They rest their guys.
Tabor on first down. Albright throws short. Another catch for Moreno. This is the Tabor team that made the 3rd round last year. And what did Tyshawn Brown say? We need depth to get to the 4th or a state final like they did in 2021. Here's that example tonight.
Yeah, and depth is one thing, but contributions across the board is another. Once you have a couple of guys who make plays, that makes you a good football team. But when you're well-rounded and you can look for other options when those guys are not available.
And tonight, it's 5 touchdowns from 5 players.
Correct. So they're making plays, they're spreading that ball around, they're getting it to different guys and allowing them to go to work.
Now first down, Albright out of the pocket. Some new faces, including Shell, the catch. Kamari stays on his feet, breaks another. Shell tripped up at the 25. Touchdown saving tackle there.
This kid's incredible, isn't he?
Every play, it's a new face out there.
It is. Kamari Shell working those legs again. Saw it last week, a huge touchdown run and the near comeback by Mount Tabor. But watch this, the vision and then the power right there, just breaking away from would-be tacklers and cannot get away from the last one.
How about Connor Hood, the safety, to save the touchdown?
Leader in that defensive backfield, too, making a play.
Fresh set of downs. Thompson spun out of bounds after a short game. Elijah Chafin, the tackle, who had 24 tackles last week against Reagan. You don't see that at the high school level.
No, you don't, but that signals the instincts of what Chafin does for this team. Again, only a sophomore. You're so young, you're acting on instincts, but after all the play that he got last year, comes in this year, experience ready to go, and it's shown.
Caleb David led the CPC for West Forsyth last year in tackles as a senior. Chafin was second, and now he's primed to be an all-conference backer this year. That's a big frame, 6'3", 210.
Sure is. Caleb David, remember, is a hoss.
Now he plays at the Division II level. Great middle linebacker. Shell out of the pocket. Little pump fake. There's a catch. Pereira, and Lucas Pereira, his 5th catch of the year, has the first.
I'll give Lane Albright some credit. A lot of these throws have not been what it's designed to do, but he's not giving up on the play because of that and just looking to run instantly. Gets his eyes down the field, finds a 2nd or 3rd option, and gets the ball out to him.
It's a Riddle tractor first down, making tall grass short into the Cook Reynolds red zone. Smart way to get things done. Got to make the folks at home happy too, get the reads in.
Yeah.
Mount Tabor putting in the work tonight offensively. 5 scores, 5 players. Thompson zigs, spins inside the 10. does not have to score, not a goal-to-go situation.
It's never on first contact that these ball carriers from Mount Tabor go down, is it? Michelle, Thompson, and Hunter you would expect as he continues to come back from injury. Didn't see him last week. He's going to get going as the season goes on as well. So these 3 running backs are going to be huge assets, not to also leave out the ability of Lane Albright, what he brings to the running game.
They're in the 2-minute mark before halftime. Albright, quick toss, another touchdown. Angelo Moreno joins the scoring party. Did you have 6 players with 6 scores on your bingo card, Mark?
That is unbelievable. Spreading the wealth. We heard throughout the week from Coach Tyshawn Brown, hey, we need to have our coaches trust more of our guys to come in and spell our bigger names. Tonight, it's been those guys. A well-rounded effort. Everyone is contributing. Everyone is getting in on it. They're paying off big time, and they are absolutely cruising into halftime.
8-play, 62-yard drive, and the kick there to finish it off. Wow, what a dominant first half for Mount Tabor. That was 1 drive away from a top 10 win over East Forsyth. They're showing how dangerous this team can be.
A lot of moxie. You always kind of wonder when you come off of those losses, right? Where is this team going to be at? What's their mentality? When we talked to Tyshawn this week, he said, hey, I had to get the guys going a little bit. They were a little down on everything. Of course, you put in all that effort. You can't make the comeback. You can't get that signature win that you've been looking for.
And he said R&B music was the secret sauce.
It was the turnaround. You play there at practice. Said he heard it from a lot of college campuses, and they do that now. Kind of lightens the mood in practice. So whatever you got to do, especially late in the season, to get your guys going, get them back into playing shape, especially after a loss like the one they suffered last week, certainly helps.
All about the tunes, my friend. Anything it can take to get you going. Yeah, Tyshawn Brown joked, I got to make sure soccer practice was okay, but you get some Alicia Keys in there, you get the music and the vibe just right.
Practicing to some Alicia Keys.
Hey.
Some good songs in there. Now, I'll tell you, before a game, not on the playlist.
You need more heavy hitting is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, Destiny's Child, Janet Jackson, really throwing it back there about 30.
We could work with Destiny's Child. Probably not Janet Jackson. We can work with Destiny's Child.
So following a penalty here, they have to re-kick. This will test the field goal range of James Price. Let's see if he's got a little more boot to sneak it through. Can the price be right? Come on, Mr. Barker. He's got it. And that's, what? Wait a second. I don't know. From our angle, that looked pretty good.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm blaming Price on that one when he watches the footage tonight.
Yeah. Maybe the price was wrong that time.
Yeah. Over under 98 cents. And it's the under, so you lose. Well, nonetheless, 38-7 here in the final minutes of halftime.
Tell you what, your over-under, did you have it at 38 points at the half for Mount Tabor?
Minus the special teams woes, what a dominant first half for Mount Tabor.
Absolutely. And it's been on both sides. Kind of seen put 2 touchdowns on the board. Davie County goes down and scores. Comes a 12-7 ball game. You start thinking, Davie's kind of here to fight. They know what's at stake here tonight. Since then, Mount Tabor has absolutely shut the door on any of that noise, any of that business. They have been unbelievable. 26 unanswered going into the half. For Davie County, now it's all about executing, getting on, and see if you can get some more points on the board.
4 interceptions for Mount Tabor's defense. Good luck. Here's Blackwell to kick. This is an area of success tonight for Davie County on the kick returns, including right there past the 35-yard line. We noted the playoff intensity for Davie County. This will be a tough one to overcome, but how do you make the most of the second half now from Tim Devers?
Well, it's about executing. I know it sounds like the default thing and the coachy thing to say, but that's what they're going to do. Because the second half is where you start to take those good things away from film. You had the 1 touchdown drive this half. How you come out of halftime, how you answer and respond, and hold your head up high says a lot about what their team is structured as.
Drayton Nance feeds his tailback. Braxton Bowling, nowhere to go. Malik Garrison, the dogpile stop. And now Garrison's eaten up like we are in about 5 minutes.
There is. Cramped up a little bit earlier. Now comes back in the football game, makes an impact. Really love Malik Garrison, that linebacker spot. So strong, very commanding as well.
And they just brought the food into the booth. That'll be fun in a few minutes as Ethan Driver makes the catch. Driver now 6 receptions tonight to lead Davie County.
Such a great receiver as well. Tactically speaking, very good at the point of attack.
There's 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 6 officially. Nance to throw. Pressure. Nance runs around, lobs it up, incomplete. Wanted Leon Bradshaw that time.
And unless I'm wrong, Evan, I don't believe Mount Tabor has a sack yet.
They're correct.
But the pressure that they have applied to Drayton Nance in this passing game has been near perfection so far this evening. They're getting there, they're forcing Nance off his spot. He's not allowed to sit back there and go across the field, scan, and find a guy down the field because the Spartans are bringing so much pressure and they are getting back there and affecting him.
Only the 2nd punt of the night for Davie. Good kick from Dixon. And Carson pins Mount Tabor near the 25-yard line. One note, the way Davie County utilizes Ethan Driver, it works great in space, he's a great route runner. It reminds us so much of former triad stars like Terrell Anderson and Alex Taylor, now at Duke and NC State. If Davie County can capitalize with Driver, they have an elite threat at that wide receiver position.
They really do. And he's a guy, again, that can really do it all. A reliable guy, great hands, but knows how to play the receiver spot well, right? That means high pointing the football, doing all the small things, making adjustments on routes, feeling where the defense is and finding soft spots and zones. When you ask him to do anything, he's not just going to do it, he's going to do it near perfection. He's easily one of the best receivers in the area, potentially even the state.
Final 54 seconds. Albright goes to the ground. Thompson, big hole. Thompson dragged around and somehow holds on to the football as the clock runs. Elijah Chafin is making a ton of tackles tonight.
He sure is. Even that time, a linebacker at the caliber of Elijah Chafin just has to hang on and wait for some of his other guys to get over there and help him out, because that is a man who is low to the ground. And Zion Thompson runs with that authority, almost never goes down on that first contact.
This could be the final play of the half. Patient Thompson out past the 45. Mount Tabor over 300 yards in this first half, just dominant. And now the clock will run on the Riddle Tractor first down.
Again, the thing that's been so impressive here in the first half, it's been the guys who aren't usually the names you hear making those big contributions.
Timeout Mount Tabor with 8 seconds. If you're Tyshawn Brown, you're sort of simulating a 2-minute drill, essentially.
Sure, trying to see if you can get these guys organized. It's 38-7. You know it's a 31-point game, but you have to keep them tight, keep them going in that mindset that, hey, anything can happen. We have to stay locked in, keep driving the football and being efficient and executing when we have the football in our possession. You got to think, though, Evan, he's got to be pretty proud overall with how this first half has gone, how his team coming off of what happened last week and how they've responded here. I mean, it's been I don't want to say near spotless, because there have been things that are coachable that they can get in the right direction. But man, they've been pretty darn close to unstoppable here in the first half.
Jaydon Blair's been a big part of that, number 4 in the white, who heads to Marcus Freeman's Notre Dame team next year. Makes you kind of wonder, offense or defense with him. I know he's a recruited safety, but the kid can play.
College is a weird landscape, and you got guys going both ways. Of course, one of the leaders at the Heisman Trophy race at this point in the season, Travis Hunter out there in Colorado, may be kind of making a new position or a new kind of framework within the game, having guys go both ways.
Final 10 seconds. Peterkin runs outside. Albright time. There's a catch. Crowell out of bounds with 2 seconds. And now Tabor can use a timeout.
He's out of bounds.
Oh, great point. The clock does stop.
He is out of bounds. So you got time to go down, just reset yourself.
Okay, one final play.
It's worth noting, at the top of your screen, you'll see Jaydon Blair up there with the green gloves.
Final play of the half. 2 scores tonight for Jaydon Blair. Albright, last heave, steps up, goes deep, incomplete. Great coverage and a hard hit. Oh, and now a late hit, personal foul on Connor Hood. Now, if that ball's deflected, I don't know if that neutralizes the penalty. Now we have an injured man down for Tabor. One in the end zone and one at midfield.
And if I'm correct, I think the one that's down for Tabor is Lane Albright. No, it's not.
Okay, there's a lot to keep tabs on here before halftime. That's Caden Crowell with coach coming over. Now, it's interesting how the penalties go as the offensive lineman gets back up.
Yeah.
David Thiel. And Crowell gets back up, so let's clean up the laundry. Targeting on the defense. So it should be an untimed down.
See, that's not a flag, Evan.
Is he defenseless?
I don't think that he is, because he's going for the catch there.
And as the ball hits him.
Right. As a defender, as Connor Hood there, what are you supposed to do in that situation? I mean, the ball's arriving right there. If he catches the football, what is it? That's one direction that I don't really like the way the game has gone, where you tell me it's a defenseless receiver, but they're going for the football. And as a defender, I've got to make a play on that football, otherwise he's making the catch. You can't ask me to make a split-second decision like that when the ball is hung up in the air.
Especially when the ball's tipped.
Right.
And there's no clean possession.
Correct.
So Mount Tabor will get one essentially free play.
So now again, we say it again, Jaydon Blair, you got to expect safety help over the top. Looking for him at the top of the screen.
Mahfooth in motion. 1v1. It's Blair going up, and he's got it out of bounds. Incomplete. That was really close.
Oh, it was close. That's really close. The fact that Jaydon Blair even caught the football, double coverage.
Oh, the DB pushed him out.
Bounce.
That's
really,
smart.
Really good sense there.
Landon King shoving him out. Yeah, he's immediately going for the push.
Yes, just get him out of bounds. That's great awareness by the DB. Jaydon Blair, though, almost Megatron that situation. Go up, make a play, but great job by Davie. Push him out of bounds, no touchdown at the half.
Tried to pull a George Kittle from last night with the 49ers, the toe drag. Then he jumped into his wife's arms, Claire Kittle, up in Seattle. I don't know if you saw that on
somehow I don't think that Jaydon Blair has a wife.
Well, his dad's on the sideline, so he could
go to his dad.
Go to Jay and celebrate with another Blair. We're waiting on Tyshawn Brown here quickly for a halftime update. Man, what a half for Jaydon in this offense.
Yeah, not just the offense, the defense as well. Mount Tabor, some miscues. There are certainly some things that still need to be cleaned up, of course, as the course of the game goes on. But a pretty spectacular first half for the Mount Tabor Spartans as they head into the locker room.
And here's Coach Tyshawn Brown with Dave.
All right, thanks very much, Evan. Tyshawn, after last week, I'm guessing you like the way your team came out first half here tonight.
Be honest with you, the scoreboard says that, but we're not playing a clean game, though.
Coaches never happy, are they?
No.
Snook Peterkin not in tonight. Can you update us on him?
We're just trying to keep him fresh, man. We played 2 games last week. He had a lot of touches out of the backfield, so he's a little bit beat up.
Appreciate it. Good luck second half.
Thanks, sir.
All right, that's Tyshawn Brown, his Mount Tabor Spartans leading here at the half.
Throughout the 2024 Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rival season, Tatum and Atkinson Law Firm will recognize an exceptional senior student-athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar athletes are from Davie County High School, Thomas Essick. Davie County's Thomas Essick is a 4-year varsity cross-country and track runner. He's a 3-time all-conference and 2-time individual state qualifier looking to qualify again this year. Thomas is a member of the National Honor Society, was a junior marshal, and was in the top 5% of his sophomore and junior classes. Thomas also volunteers to help the Davie County Foundation raise fund grants for Davie's youth. And from Mount Tabor High School, Lane Albright. Mount Tabor's Lane Albright is the starting quarterback and 3-time varsity captain, where he was named 2nd-team All-Conference and 3rd-team All-Area. He is on the AB Honor Roll and member of the Key Club. To give back to his community, Lane volunteers at the Food Pantry and member of the Christian Development Trust. He currently holds a 4.2 GPA and is committed to play at Davidson College next year. Thomas, Lane, and other nominated students are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes of the Week, sponsored by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck? Call the Heavy Hitters.
And Dave Gorin back out here with Michael Pruitt. He is in his 4th year as the principal here at Davie County High School. First of all, good evening. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, glad to be here. A lot going on tonight, not just football. Tell us about some of the things that you have going on here at Davie.
Absolutely. We've got so many things to be thankful for here in the Davie community that we wanted to use tonight to really highlight some of those individuals in our community who have done some outstanding things. So we started the night off recognizing cancer survivors in our community to let them know we support them and they're not fighting alone. Then we recognized our 4-time repeat CPC champion tennis team. Our girls are 49-1 over the last 4 years, which is amazing. Just recognized our wrestling team from last year that won the dual state and dual team championships, 23-1. And now we're finishing up with our band, and they are joined by a group called Joyful Sound, which is a differently abled group of performers from our community. So we're happy to have them join us tonight.
Yeah, that's a great deal right there. Your school recently voted by or named by the state and recognized as a model STEM school. What exactly does that mean for our viewers?
Well, we're really thrilled. Since 2014, we've been a STEM school within a school. And what that means is that we have been named one of the 3 traditional high schools in North Carolina that is actually a model for STEM education and producing leadership in the field of STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math.
As a parent of a former STEM student, I know all about that. You're actually trying to change the way that STEM is taught?
Well, actually, we have decided to take our STEM school within a school and go school-wide with it. So starting with our freshman class, every student in our school is getting that same STEM education. We're combining it with our arts programs, CTE programs, and our humanities programs to become a full STEAM school, which we're excited to give everyone that personalized touch.
A lot of great stuff going on here at Davie High School. Michael Pruitt, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
All right, Michael Pruitt, he is the principal here at Davie. We'll be back with more here on the U.S. Army Halftime Report, including a chat with Mount Tabor High School Athletic Director Patrick Cromwell. That's coming up right after you take a look at this. And welcome back to the U.S. Army Halftime Report. Dave Gorin out here at Davie County Stadium. War Eagles trail Mount Tabor 38-7 here at the half. Mount Tabor Athletic Director Patrick Cromwell joins me now. Patrick, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave. Thanks for having us here.
Happy to. And I've heard it. I've been in this area 36 years. I've heard all about Spartan pride. When you hear that, what does that mean?
What I love about Mount Tabor, this is my 18th year there. I love our diversity. Mount Tabor represents Winston-Salem really well. Our staff, our students, we have a high expectation for excellence in every endeavor is what we call it, arate. So we expect a lot from our students, our staff, and our sports teams. But I love our diversity.
diversity in sports as well. You have a bunch of those. How are those teams doing other than football so far this fall?
We're kind of transitioning. We have a couple teams wrapping up their Central Piedmont Championships next week. Tennis just finished up. They go to the playoffs in a week. Cross country, volleyball has their championships this week. So we're trying to finish strong here, finish in the upper half in all of our sports. That's always our goal, and hopefully come away with a few championships down the stretch.
17 years as a coach. You told me you coached 72 teams in that time. First year as an AD, you never know what to expect. Case in point tonight, right?
I always wanted to get in the admin side, but it's been a challenge. That's what I wanted. I think my experience with coaching a long time gives me that relationship with the coaches. I know what they're going through. So my job is to support them. If I'm doing my job, nobody knows I'm there. So it's been a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it and learning more each day.
Well, I appreciate your time. Best of luck, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Dave. Go Spartans.
All right, Patrick Cromwell, Athletic Director at Mount Tabor. And right now, let's hear a message from Commander Marcus Brown of the U.S. Army. He tells us why U.S. Army might be right for you.
My educational journey in the Army has been fantastic. So receiving my undergraduate degree as well as my master's. My MOS is similar to UPS. If it fits, it ships. I'm a logistician by trade. As a reservist, the Army will set you apart. You can learn skills and get certifications through the Army that you can use in your everyday occupation. So the healthcare perks are amazing. Absolutely no co-pays, so that's no money out of your pocket.
Welcome back to our My 48 halftime report. The Carolina Classic Fair continues, which means it's time to eat
What you got?
and wrap up the great end to this fantastic weekend. Hey, welcome you back inside the booth with Mark Covert. I'm Evan Budrovich. Now our favorite time of the year. Let's get started with a deep fried turkey wing from our friends at Integrity Barbecue. And Mark, you have the moonshine chicken on a stick. So let's dive in.
Let's get after it.
It's some of the best chicken I've ever had. Like these ribs.
Well, that's turkey.
Are amazing. Oh yeah.
That's really good.
Imperial Concessions and our friends at Integrity Barbecue.
Woo.
Don't mind me. Gets a little spicy here, but you go ahead, my friend.
I mean, this is. Whew.
Dave's also eating some chicken on a stick as I
we got
dig in on these turkey wings.
Dave Gorin, how is it, my friend?
Chicken on a stick is delicious.
Oh.
Great grill marks, grill taste.
Now, this is Carolina Fair food for you.
Yeah,
Oh.
You want to go to the South and you get something with chicken or turkey? Sign me up. These puppies are going to be delicious tonight.
And somebody said there's a donut over here, too.
Oh, there's a donut.
If I need it, let's go. Hang on one
There's a
sec.
donut. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I need water.
So Josephine's, if you've been there, you know it's
Josephine's
fantastic.
donut. Yeah, there goes the diet, kids, huh?
I took a bite during the commercial because it was that good.
Look at this bad boy, man. Look at this. Look
Oh, my
at
God.
this
The
donut.
size of my face. Touchdown Covert.
I'm going to have to run up and down the sidelines throughout the whole second half.
I'll eat
here.
the extra point here, this extra bite. Oh, man.
Holy cow.
That is delicious.
This is the best fair food in the world. Now, let's not forget, of course, the best treat of them all.
Yeah.
This is deep-fried banana pudding
Ooh.
from Magnificent Concessions.
Look at this.
Thank you, Mark, for the assist.
Joe, you're welcome. Pretty,
Cheers, my
pretty.
friend. Let's go all in.
Messy.
Oh, it's deep-fried, it's dirty, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, my.
That banana pudding is amazing.
That's unreal.
I look like a 5-year-old,
That's
but I'm
unreal.
having a blast right now. I know Dave is, too.
That is unreal.
Go to the Carolina Classic Fair.
Look at
right
that.
now. Go at halftime. Go this weekend. Wrap it up for a great fair.
Oh, my gosh. Is there anything better than fair food? Like, seriously, is there anything better than fair food?
No, because I'm still in love with this turkey wing. But turkey's my favorite right now. Because look at this thing. It's just...
I got to put the banana pudding down because there's so much other stuff to eat. The chicken, I got to get some of the turkey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me some
Don't
of
let
the
me hog it
I
all
want
for
the
you.
chicken on a stick.
Yeah.
Get the chicken. Get the chicken. It's on a nice bed of rice, too, by the way.
A good little skewer here to help me out.
Let's see what we got here.
Let's go one piece at a time. My mom taught me some manners. I'm not just an animal.
There's no manners. There's no manners when it comes to fair food.
Look at these delicious trees.
You got to get crazy.
And Mark, I heard you went to the fair on Monday.
I sure did.
You didn't have any of this food, but how was it? You and your fiance checking it out.
Spectacular. The fair, great time. Obviously, you go there, you get food, you get the atmosphere, the rides, the parade, everything like that. I mean, it was such a great time. Alexis, first time going to a fair down here as well. A little bit different from what she experienced up north. And, of course, the return of one of our favorites from last year, the pickle pizza. Unbelievable. Great strawberry lemonade as well. I mean, any kind of food you possibly want, you're going to find it at the Carolina Classic Fair. All the rides, all the games. Wonderful event. Spectacular. Definitely going to go again next year.
This entire weekend, head to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. It'll be worth your time.
Please.
Donuts for us in the second half. Plenty of treats when we return on our My 48 Game of the Week.
The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services is proud to present you with this medical game plan.
Yes, again, if you are in between the ages of 19 and 64 and you have a household income under the eligible limit, and you're also either a citizen or have an eligible immigration status that may be eligible for that NC Medicaid. I think a lot of people are familiar with our division of social service offices that are local to all of our communities. But one of the ways to consider is making sure you look at our online service. There is a self-service that is called ePass. And if you go to epass.nc.gov, you can also apply online. There is also an opportunity to go to healthcare.gov. And if you can't apply online, again, go to your local Department of Social Services office where you can also apply. If you're unsure of what to do next, or you have a question and you want to make an appointment with a navigator who can help you through the process, you can go to ncnavigator.org or call 855-733-3711. We know people have a lot of questions about NC Medicaid. We really understand. First, we encourage you to visit medicaid.nc.gov for more information on who qualifies, how to apply, and much more. So if you're still unsure if you qualify for Medicaid, we encourage you to apply. You can reach out to our North Carolina Health Insurance Navigator who can help you know if you're eligible and help you to apply. You can make an appointment at ncnavigator.org or call 855-733-3711.
The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services is proud to present you with this medical game plan.
And welcome back to the U.S. Army Halftime Report. Dave Gorin joined by branding and events manager for the Carolina Classic Fair, Lily Craven. Great to see you again.
Good to see you. I'm excited to be here.
And I bet you've had an exciting week with the fair. How much fun has it been for you?
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, this is my first year working for the fair, and it's been absolute magic watching everybody come in through the gates and eat all the food, do all the rides, the games, everything.
Speaking of games, what are we watching over here to your left?
So we've got Bianca and Hayden doing our pretzel stacking game, and it looks like Hayden is in the lead here.
There's a little tipsy there, though. Bianca's slow and steady, and Hayden's going for the speed. What can we look for the last 2 days of the fair? It looks like great weather.
Yes, beautiful weather. We've got lots of good things happening. We've got the tractor pull on Saturday. We've got rodeos on Sunday in the grandstand, and but all those entertainment is free with your fair admission ticket. Lots of good food. Y'all saw the reporters eating the food just now, and it was really good. So.
And Hayden won the bear. Congratulations, Hayden. Concert this weekend, too?
We are done with our concerts, but like I said, we do have those 2 acts in the grandstand, as well as all of our roaming entertainment. We've got still walkers. We've got one-man band. We've got a little Alfred E. Gator puppet, driving puppet, so it's awesome.
Anytime there's alligator, I'm there. Lily Craven, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, have a great last 2 days of the fair, and let's go back up to the booth in Evan and Mark.
So there's our halftime stats. Thank you, Dave, for all that. I actually just balanced some rice in my head. It was fantastic.
It was more impressive than it sounded.
Mark, how about the 400 yards of total offense from Mount Tabor?
Well, we ate good at halftime, and they ate good before the half. So really a great first half. Tyshawn not satisfied. Of course, any head coach is going to tell you there can always be improvements, and there can. A couple turnovers, some penalties there as well, shooting themselves in the foot. But all around, just a great first half from Mount Tabor, capitalizing on the mistakes of Davie County, making them pay for it, and moving forward.
4 penalties for Davie County certainly didn't help. And then the 4 picks, the real difference in the half.
Sure is, but that's reacting to the football. Again, this defense for Mount Tabor came into this game with 0 interceptions on the year. For as good as they are, they weren't able to put it together. Finally, in this game, they get 4 picks in the first half. Helps them blow this game into a huge lead going into halftime.
Lane Albright gets the scoring started from 60.
Just another part of that rushing attack that we talk so much about. We know about Thompson. We know about Shell. This time it was Albright, and this time delivers with his arm to Jaydon Blair down the field. The Notre Dame commits for taking in for his second score of the night.
There's a nice score for Davie County before the half. Made it 21-7 on the freshman touchdown.
Kind of felt like they had some life, and then on the very next drive, Tabor responds with another huge touchdown run, getting down the field, and from there it was all Mount Tabor. Jaydon Blair making another catch and run for his first of 2 touchdowns in the first half. And here's the second one, which is a showstopper down the field. High points the football. How about that? 3 takes for you. And then from there, it's the open field running ability of the high-profile recruit of Mount Tabor.
And let's go down to Dave Gorin with more.
All right, thanks very much. Evan here with Tim Devricks. Tim, you told us earlier in the week it's a young team that you have, and you have to be patient. What do you tell them at halftime?
Oh, super proud of their effort and the way they played. We're just about 4 plays away to a really good football player and the difference in this ball game.
That's a good team you're playing tonight. You show respect, but yet you have to go at them full tilt.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm super proud of our guys' effort and the way that they're flying around the football field, making great blocks up front, and we're going to continue to look to do that in the second half as well.
Good luck second half. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Tim Devricks, head coach. His team trails 38-7. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
Welcome back to Davie County High School, my 48 game of the week, Friday Night Rivals edition. Davie County to kick off to start the second half. Mount Tabor, 5 scorers, 5 different players. Here's a return from the 15. Caden Crowell sneaks out of a tackle. And so much in this high school game is about momentum and overcoming obstacles. If you're Mount Tabor now, you just had a great first half. How do you carry that forward here in the second half?
Just continue to execute as if this was not a 31-point game, but a 1-point game. As long as you're going out there and executing, handling your business, this still turns out as a great football game for you, but how do you finish even when a blowout right now going into the second half? It's certainly going to be interesting to see how they come out on this first drive. They'll tell you a lot, and it kind of seems like right now that starting offense is going to go back out there as well. Lane Albright leading the charge back out onto the field.
Coach Tyshawn Brown noted no Snook Peterkin, but no problem tonight for Mount Tabor. A lot of balance offensively.
Yeah.
6 different receivers with a catch tonight, and 4 players have scored. Lane Albright to start the second half. Goes to another tailback. That's Thompson, and he's tripped up after a gain of 1.
I think you and I were pretty curious in our discussions throughout the week as to what we were going to see out of Mount Tabor offensively this week. A lot of running last week. Not a whole lot through the air. Schematically, it may have been what East Forsyth was trying to do, take away the passing game and get rid of Blair and Peterkin and what they have as far as an effect on the game offensively. But we wondered, were we going to see the passing game open up here tonight? And I certainly think for the first half it was a resounding yes.
Here's a 2nd and 8, back to the ground. Thompson breaks the tackle, bounces off 1. Thompson powering forward, out near midfield. And we see it at the NFL level, but 9 of the last Super Bowl winners, the only one was the LA Rams. Top 5 in the league in rushing to win the title. That's the formula for Mount Tabor.
It does not matter how much the game of football changes. The formula largely will remain the same. It's running the football and playing great defense is what wins you championships. Of course, you have to throw the football to stay relevant in today's game. But running the football and playing that hard-nosed style of defense, that gets you places. That's what Mount Tabor does.
Tabor back on the ground. Thompson again. He'll get 4 up the middle. Now on the ground, that's 230 yards passing, my apologies, and 190 yards rushing.
Zion Thompson, not a huge guy as far as stature. You see it there on the screen. Not a huge guy, but the senior running back, tough, hard-nosed runner, does not go down on first contact, just a bowling ball in the backfield.
Thompson didn't play much of the first half. He's now come in the second half. Didn't have a rush in the first.
And think about how much he played last week between him and Kamari Shell, especially in the backfield, giving them some rest later on in the first half.
Thompson's turn. Good tackle. Connor Hood comes up for the hit. And that's the star safety for Davie County.
Sure is, and he's a guy who's very coachable. This coaching staff loves Connor Hood, and we've seen him over the last couple of seasons really come into his own. Now he's the leader of that secondary. He comes up and you make a play like this on a big back in Zion Thompson, gets up, he's fired up, and he should be. That's a great play in space on a player who does not go down easily.
40 tackles for Hood this year. That leads the Davie County defense. Lone returning starter from last year's 7-win team. They had a good club last year, Davie County. Played this Tabor club in the first round of the playoffs. Albright out of the pocket, goes short, right at the sticks. And Lucas Pereira, his 6th catch of the year for a first down.
Also loved what I've seen with Lane Albright tonight, the play calling to get him outside the pocket, allowing him to use his legs, which is his biggest strength. Allow him to survey the field, get out there, and then he makes a choice. Am I keeping it myself? Am I firing it down the field? Just nice, easy throws, great concepts to get those receivers open and allow him to find guys.
That's a first down to move the chains. Wow, 7 different guys who caught passes from Albright. This isn't the Peyton Manning offense of the early 2000s with the Colts with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and Edgerrin James, but this type of balance makes Mount Tabor a dangerous playoff team.
How dare you mention the Colts and not mention Brandon Stokely?
He's part of the list.
I'll tell you what. No, he's easily the fourth person on that list that you named. But no, seriously, this is a team that runs the football. If they can get this passing game going and gives the opponents that they go face in the future something different to look at, changes the entire game for what Mount Tabor does.
It's a delay of games. That's why the ball moves back 5 yards. Mount Tabor gears up for Glenn and Reagan the next 2 weeks. If they pull out these 2 wins, Mark, they're in a spot for a top 10 seed in the state.
It certainly is. Glenn, tough contest on the road at RJ Reynolds tonight. And Reagan, their own battle at home against West Forsyth. A huge contest in the CPC.
Here's Kamari Shell, who powers through tackles. He gets the yardage back on the penalty. Reagan right now is a 12 seed in the state. So in this conference, you have 4 teams in the top 15 overall.
Yeah, and that's huge for what they want to do, especially once you go through the playoffs. You start playing against these better teams. Potentially you have a chance to get some more games at home than you had originally bargained for. And that certainly helps out, but it's a long season still. Even at this point, those last 3 weeks are huge. And of course, the shakeup with everything that's happened on the western side of the state with Hurricane Helene rolling through.
Here's 2nd and 12, Albright short. That is a catch, so it's 3rd down upcoming. How about West Forsyth tonight? 27-0 over Reagan, so West versus East could be a league title game.
And that game is in Pofftown. So West goes on the road. They're dominating right now against Reagan. That is a huge, huge game within the CPC. And a huge statement at that for West Forsyth.
By the way, West Stokes is leading the top team in 2A football, Reedsville, in the second half. And Reedsville hasn't lost a game in 3 years.
Not just 3 years, but I think in the last 2 weeks, had over 100 points scored.
As Albright doing the same here, running out of trouble. He's short of the 1st down. A good 3rd down stop by Chafin.
Good pursuit, good angle that time. Get Albright down on the ground. Brings up 4th down. Kind of a bugaboo tonight for Davie County, getting off the field on 3rd and long. This time, Chafin, the heat-seeking missile that he is, finds Albright and brings him to the turf.
So now the punt unit comes out. First punt of the night for Mount Tabor. An offense that's been rolling on that. You barely say the punt team.
Yeah. Rightfully so. But for Davie, you come out, get a stop.
There's James Price with some pressure. He gets it away. And that dies around the 17. Let's take the timeout. There's a stop for Davie County. The War Eagles get the football. Sounds like an SEC chant when we return to Mocksville.
I grew up where the world was simple and slow.
Closed captioning for tonight's games brought to you by Caring Hands at Caring Hands Home Health. Your family's needs are our top priority when they're in our care. Davie County at 2-4. This is a very important stretch now with Mount Tabor this week, West Forsyth next week, needing probably a win or 2 to get into the playoffs.
Tough schedule. Parkland and Glenn on that as well.
Drayton Nance feeds it, and a nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage for John Coles. Because Davie right now is a last 5 team in to the state playoffs, which, Mark, makes these next 3 weeks a vital push for Davie.
It sure does. And that last game against Glenn, also 2-4. They'll be fighting potentially for their playoff lives. So think about how big that game is for both teams, depending on how things play out.
As Bowling gains 1 and gets popped out of bounds. The CPC in line today for 5 teams in the playoffs. That would be the best ranking of any conference in the state. The Southern Carolina League, Weddington, Sun Valley, Weddington, the reigning state champs. But right there 1-1 with the Central Piedmont is the best league in the state.
Yeah, they are. It's been a pretty back and forth competition. We know what Weddington is. Sun Valley couple down years, but now comes back. See the incomplete pass there. Good break on the ball by Mount Tabor.
Weddington under Gregory Free, the new quarterback.
Yep.
He's been outstanding.
Yep.
The CPC, East Forsyth won the title in 18, but those two leagues have traded league titles the last 4 years.
Yeah, they have. And it's going to be interesting to watch. Again, you've got Weddington there, Sun Valley, your two best teams in the Southern Carolina Conference. And then, of course, you look at the CPC, you start talking about East Forsyth, you start talking about Mooresville, and, of course, you can't forget Grimsley over on the Greensboro side either. So it's a lot of back and forth between those two conferences.
4 weeks from the playoffs, there's a punting unit. Short kick from Dixon. But it takes a really nice bounce. That dies there at the 43.
Certainly when you talk about RPI, as Dave had mentioned in one of his hits earlier in the game, there's a team in the Charlotte area that's had a lot to do with what the CPC has presented. Reagan and Davie have both played Mooresville. In week 1 and week 2 of this season, Davie falling on the road to them, Reagan inviting them into their house, and giving them their only loss on the season so far. So having that team on your schedule, just having them, gives you a boost up the rankings in those RPI standings. And then Reagan, of course, beating them gives them an extra boost on that end.
So Mount Tabor takes over, second drive of the half. Back on the ground with Thompson. He wiggles. Thompson spins. Gets 5. He's part 3 of a trio of heavy hitting backs. 220 yards rushing tonight.
Been really good. Hunter, we expect to get back rounded into form as games go on. But we've seen Zion Thompson. He's the bowling ball. He's the power. We've seen Kamari Shell. He's the other power, but a lot of speed out of number 3.
He's Bam Bam from the Flintstones.
Yeah.
And then bowling is like Fred. He just sets the table for the family. Throw in the Jetsons and you have a throwback Friday little celebration tonight. 220 yards rushing in the first half. That's insane for Mount Tabor. Now Thompson in motion. He gets the football. Open space. There's a first. Thompson stays alive and into the red zone, the Novant Health red zone.
You got to think, like, where do you end up trying to tackle Zion Thompson? Because he's so short, usually they're not going to tell you to go up high for it. So you can't do that. You can't go around his legs because they can just continue to churn and move down the field and get yards.
So this reminds me of Derrick Henry. How do you tackle the biggest player in football? He had 12,000 yards in high school or 10,000 in the NFL. You can't stop him.
It's the exact opposite as Derrick Henry, though, from the stature standpoint.
Instead of size and speed, here's Shell outside. Stays in bounds. Touchdown, Kamari Shell. The 5th different player to score for Mount Tabor.
Don't really need to worry about where they're going to tackle you if they don't get close to tackling you. Kamari Shell follows his blockers along the left side of the field. Great speed, good vision, and then the balance to stay inside of going out of bounds. Gets inside the pylon for his first touchdown of the evening.
The balance of the Spartans. There's the sound of the Spartans. Enjoying a fun night on the road. We do have a flag, though. What do you got for us, Chris Bergen? Oh, sportsmanlike on the defense. Okay, just kidding. Offsetting. Starts to get real feisty, like when John B's traveling through the islands of the Caribbean looking to find national treasure. Outer Banks came out this week. I don't know if you saw the final season.
I haven't seen a single episode.
You're not a John B guy?
I couldn't.
Your fiance is not a John B guy? Because my wife is.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure if Alexis has seen Outer Banks. I think she has.
Maybe a blessing and a curse. Is that extra point's good? We've been on a Love Island trip the last couple of weeks.
I get...
So it's 45-7. Kamari Shell putting on a show. A little love triangle tonight. 3 touchdowns for number 3. Welcome back to our My 48 game of the week here for the Carolina Classic Fair. A lot happening coming up in the fourth quarter. Stay tuned to find out who's tonight's Carolina Classic Fair Player of the Game. The Carolina Classic Fair, 10 days of awesome. Also in the fourth, we'll have tonight's My 48 Play of the Game. My 48 Sports, your home for local sports. So plays and players. 5 different guys have scored for Mount Tabor, so I couldn't tell you who's going to win the awards.
It might be the hardest player of the game we've had this year.
I'm going to leave it up to the crew to pick it, and we'll just react live.
Yeah, the truck's really good at this.
Just like the donuts we had today. We just react live to the food.
Yeah, we do.
Make sure to go to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds all this weekend. It wraps up Sunday.
Seriously, if you are a connoisseur of culinary items and delights, as the two of us are up here in the booth, and I know Dave is.
Because my favorite was the moonshine chicken on a stick. I'm changing my mind.
Really?
Chicken during halftime.
Oh, you were all about the banana pudding.
That deep fried banana pudding from Magnificent is great. We'll get Dave's thoughts here after this kickoff. Davie County returns it and takes a knee. Dave, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I had the chicken on the stick, which is delicious, and then the donut. It was dessert time, so I think I'll go donut. I did not have the luxury of the fried banana pudding.
Hey, come on up to the press box. We got plenty of extra.
Or you could send it down.
Well, we do have some friends up here.
You could take a trip out to the Carolina Classic Fair this Saturday or Sunday.
Well, I could, because I'll be right next door at the Wake Forest-Clemson game tomorrow. Maybe just walk over after.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Nance goes to work as we take a snack. Throws it short. There's a catch. Nice tackle. And a short gain there. As Nashawn Marshak, try to say that name 5 times fast with the tackle.
I don't think I will. Nice play, though, to get that ball carried down in open space. Not an easy play that time. But once you get in those open field spots, you got to be able to get someone down.
We have a late hit on the quarterback, so a 15-yard penalty. If you're Davie County, what do you take from tonight moving forward?
Well, you have a young quarterback, and there are going to be times where your quarterback is going to struggle no matter what, right? So this is one of those nights. For Jaydon Nance, struggles in the first half, those 4 picks. Now, not entirely his fault. Some tip passes go into that equation as well.
Blowout is spun down. Good pursuit by the backup defensive lineman. That's Samir Kane.
But it's a big second half for Jaydon Nance. See how he responds. You have the worst first half of your high school career to this point. So how do you respond? How do you get yourself back in the game where you put together a good half of football and get back on the right track?
Nance with time. Pass is caught. Nice snag by Landon Hughes, who goes up and gets it. And now a flag. Now 2 flags. Can we get 3 for fun? Just drop it in there.
I don't know, but that ref just launched that flag about 30 yards down the field from the 20.
That's how you get explosive plays, Mark. It's all about the explosives.
It sure is. I don't know if that was the best pass in the world, but it's a trust kind of throw that Nance made down the field.
With a face mask, I guess, after the catch.
Yeah.
So they get the 10-yard completion and then the 15-yard penalty. Let's see.
Again, throwing right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure looked like it. Hey, that's a heck of a catch by the receiver and a heck of a catch by the ref down the field to throw that flag and see the face mask.
Now, that's playing Twister, right? It's like left foot yellow, right head green, up the middle. And a powerful run for Jamarius Pelote, the junior tailback.
I don't know what game of Twister you were playing, but I don't think I ever used it.
We never played by the head, I will admit. It was all head, shoulders, knees, and toes. As Pelote's slow to get up, he got twisted around. Like those pretzels at the Carolina Classic Fair. You saw the stacking at halftime.
Every week.
We stacked rice bowls on our head. They stacked pretzels.
Stacked food into our mouths at halftime.
You know what's great fair food? We had the turkey legs. We need the deep fried Oreos next year. Add that to the equation. I know that's your specialty. 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Pelote back on the ground. He is body slammed the other way. Good tackling, including John Coles there.
A procedural kind of half on both sides. Mount Tabor, again, you want to see them still be locked in, execute, finish a football game. Even being up 31 at the half, you finish a football game And again, for Davie, it's about getting back on the right track, getting some good things going here in the second half that you can move over into film and into practice this coming week.
Nearing the second trip to the red zone for Davie. Pelote again spins out of a tackle and gets the first on third down. Jamarius Pelote, who's following a good lineage of tailbacks. Markel Summers, who's now playing D2 football, and Tate Carney, who ran for over 1,000 yards the last 2 tailbacks.
I guess I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more of Pelote tonight. We've seen a lot of Braxton Bowling, rightfully so, but Pelote's been pretty good on this drive.
There's Pelote, little dump off, and he keeps churning those legs. Turns nothing into something, gain of 3.
Bigger body too, 6'2". There's more of your Derrick Henry height. Referring to back here earlier in the second half. But these are going to be the guys going forward. He's going to be a senior next year.
Can you believe Derrick Henry had 12,000 yards in high school and never won a state title? The guy did everything. He was unstoppable.
Yep. Except defense or give him enough points.
Out of a little town in northern Florida. As there's a sack, Landon Ryman drops him down. First sack of the year for Landon.
And I believe it's the first sack of the night for Mount Tabor. All the pressure they generated in the first half, moving Braden Nance off of his spot. They never got him to the ground. Finally, corral him and get him to the turf.
Nearing the final minute of the third quarter and some movement for Mount Tabor. Nearing 7 penalties now for Tyshawn Brown. That's an area of emphasis next week.
It sure is. It certainly is. He's coaching points as the game goes on, out of reach effectively. But as the time continues to tick down, you want to see your team stay locked in. You see him right there, upset. Even going into halftime, 31.
Tyshawn, who knows, his club made a 3rd round last year, but how do you get to the 4th? How do you get to a region final? It starts with no penalties. End zone shot, incomplete. Wanted driver, great coverage, Mahfooth.
That is absolutely picture-perfect coverage on the back end by Mahfooth. Look at this thing get down the field. Ethan Driver, one of the best receivers in the area.
So he's no Peterkin, he's no Blair, but this next generation, Mahfooth the junior.
Right, exactly. Gets down there, great coverage. Playing both sides of the ball, has a touchdown tonight as well.
Sets up 4th and 9. This is huge for Davie County. Nance scrambles. Nance incomplete. Missed his target there in Landon Hughes and a turnover.
See down here, the last play to Driver in the end zone. Gets the hand in there just enough to pull it down. And sometimes that's all you need to do. It's not always about knocking the football down. It's about getting it out of the receiver's hands.
Because once it touches him, you can grab his arm.
Exactly. That's a great play by Mahfooth to get his hands up, pull at the arm so he can't secure that football with 2 hands.
I like that name, Jaydon Mahfooth.
Mahfooth. Say it 5 times fast.
No, it sounds like a character you'd see in a movie back in the Antarctica series. Get Ray Romano mixed in.
Oh, gee.
Get all the friends involved.
Antarctica, Ice Age?
Ice Age, yeah. Based in Antarctica. Come on, you know.
Antarctica.
It's not the name of the show, it's the location. Here's a play action, little dump off, and a trip incomplete.
Why are you not running the ball? What are you doing?
I think some fan of the ass just asked, why are they not running the ball?
It's
a fair question.
Yeah. It's a pretty fair question.
Clock running here with 35 seconds left. Mount Tabor on its way to a 5th win. They've moved to 5-2 and now be in line to host maybe 2 playoff rounds. A little confusion at the line and a tackle for loss. Great pursuit, including Corbin O'Neill on the stop.
So much season still left, of course.
But it's only 3 weeks now, my friend. It's getting close quick.
It's enough. Within the state of North Carolina, these high school rankings shift around a ton. So those standings will mix and match. It'll shift around. A lot of ball left to be played.
And plenty of ball here in Mocksville, North Carolina. That ends the 3rd quarter. We'll come back for the final frame for our Carolina Classic Fair game of the week. Mount Tabor well on its way to a bounce-back win. We got plenty more after this. Welcome back to Davie County High School with Mark Covert and Dave Gorn. I'm Evan Budrovich. This is the heart of Central Piedmont Conference play. We're here in Mocksville, North Carolina. All Mount Tabor tonight. 2 scores for Jaydon Blair. Our referee signal us to play to start this quarter. But first, a flag. Wait, a delay a game out of a quarter break?
I don't know. I think that was 12 men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not quite delay a game.
No, so 12 men on the defense. Wait, nope.
Nope.
It's actually on the offense.
Beautiful.
We're just pulling the cord tonight, trying to see which way we can go. Our crew led by Chris Bergen.
It's worth noting as well, as we enter the fourth with a 38-point lead for Mount Tabor. They've done all of this tonight with no Snook Peterkin on the field.
A top 10 player in the state. Oh, there's a false start. Snook, who's heading to Virginia Tech. That's a great lineage of players in Blacksburg. You think of in this area, Tyler Mason, all-state running back, Derek Dandy, all-state defensive lineman. 7 commits in the triad are playing at Virginia Tech in the next 2 years. That's what Justin Fuente has done as a huge recruiter in this area.
And he certainly has done a great job leaving that footprint and getting Tech hopefully back on the right track. Really, it's been a tough couple of years.
Albright shovels deep, finds a man. That's Mahfooth. And what can Mahfooth do for you? Give him 25 yards on 3rd down.
Just continue to Mahfooth the ball down the field.
No, that's my job for the punts.
Oh, come on.
Your job's the analyst.
You get so many other things.
Including the first bite of the turkey leg tonight on the middle tractor, 1st down.
Oh, so good, too. But Mahfooth has been everywhere tonight. Honestly, Evan, he has an interception. He has a touchdown, couple of catches. I mean, he has been everywhere. Pass deflection on the last drive to Ethan Driver in the end zone.
So Mahfooth had 4 catches versus R.J. Reynolds last Monday. He is exploding today. This is Angelo Moreno, and he gets 9. The 5'9" junior receiver. I love the depth of Mount Tabor tonight. What the O coordinator Gunnar Klontz has done, this is impressive.
And you've got to be able to go out there and trust guys to go out and make plays. Multitude of guys. Again, we know that Snook Peterkin can do it. We've seen Jaydon Blair tonight get it done, but it's got to be other guys who make those contributions. Short, medium, long passing, running the football, blocking, whatever is asked of them, making it happen, and they've done it here this evening.
Here's 2nd and 1. Incomplete on the slant route. Nice coverage from Davie County.
You got an opportunity to take a shot like that, not really much of a shot, but just move it down the field a little bit more because you're in 2nd and 1. Opens up the playbook. You can take a chance there knowing that you've got a 3rd and 1 yard to go to pick up that 1st down. Now you can pin your ears back a little bit, run the football, try to pick up that 1st down and keep this drive alive.
And my apologies, Brent Price in year 3 at Virginia Tech, formerly Justin Fuente.
Yes.
You get the point on the recruiting trail. 2 minutes into this 3rd quarter, a little play action. Now Thompson has it, and he gets the 1st. On the Riddle tractor, 1st down, making tall grass short. Probably the final week you cut your grass in North Carolina until at least March.
Mulch it a little bit, let it settle in.
If you're us, you plant some rose petals in the backyard, let those start to grow a little bit. Donate to the Arbor Foundation, get some crepe myrtle trees coming in the mail. Yeah. Big nature guy myself. You know,
really?
Beautify the backyard a little bit. Yeah.
Oh. Evan Budrovich, the landscaper.
No, we talked about our Kubota tractors. I'm not a landscaper. I'm just a plant designer, if you will.
A plant designer.
I build orchards.
Now we're just making up. That's a great.
The technical term is gardener. I'm going to overcomplicate something very simple.
We welcome you to 2024, where we're just making up job titles for things that already exist.
I'm the CFO, the Chief Fun Officer here on I-48. We do want to thank our tremendous crew tonight that have grinded these last 7 weeks with Storm, with everything involved. A lot going on tonight.
Best in the business ever seen here.
Special thank to Kyle Lang, Lori Bates, Allison Aldridge, plenty of others that get so involved in the technical details of making these things happen. Fresh set of downs from Mount Tabor. Albright, pump fake. There's Shell. Nice hit. He gets the first. Oh, and a little shove late.
I'll tell you what, man.
And you really heard that pop with crowd mics down there.
Sure did. That's the kind of play, if you are on that Mount Tabor sideline, you're Tyshawn Brown, you can hear that from across the field, that pop. That's what you want to still see happen out here. Guys that are still playing the game, they're not backing down just because it's a 38-point game now. They are still competing and trying to go at a level that would justify this being a 1-point game.
That was Landon King on the hit. Yeah, sportsmanlike. Oh, whoa! On both teams. Okay, they offset. It does result in the first down.
I wonder where that football's going. I'm not really sure.
Okay, so they kind of both shoved each other, sort of. As the Davie County students who have a great journalism program here, we're snapping some photos on the sideline.
Still let it run, but again, when you've got these guys that are competing like a Kamari Shell, like a Zion Thompson, these running backs are still carrying the load deep into a blowout football game here in the fourth quarter. That's what you want to see.
Here's 1st and 10. Tabor 45 first half points, maybe more. Moreno spins, and Moreno inside the 10. That's his 4th catch. And now everyone has a signature first down point. That's the new thing in high school football.
It sure is, and different kinds of pointing in the collegiate and NFL ranks a little bit right now as well. But nice pass. I mean, that is on time, on target. That's a rhythm throw on a slant by Lane Albright. Good anticipation, finds the window, and finds Moreno sitting in it.
Jaydon Blair, 2 touchdowns leading Mount Tabor at the receiving end. He's on the bench here in the fourth quarter. Albright wants more. End zone! Touchdown, Mahfooth! Keep feeding the beast. 2 scores for Jaydon Mahfooth. He's ready. Having a career night.
Sure is. 2 receiving touchdowns. Sorry, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown now. An interception. Jaydon Mahfooth, fill up the stat sheet, young man. You are having the night of your life here in Mocksville.
He's swimming in his own success.
That's by himself. That was a...
Yeah, he needs some buddies to celebrate with him. Jaydon Blair's like, hey, good job, man. But it would help if somebody else could join him in the celebration. It's like when a hitter gets their first career home run and no one talks to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, the silent treatment, and the extra point is good. Now the clock will run in high school football when you're up 45 points. So after the kickoff, it runs.
So now the only time that will change is going in between possessions and touchdowns, but Jaydon Mahfooth strikes yet again, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Spartans are marching on to their 5th W of the season.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. Caring Hands Home Health. Your family's needs are our top priority when they're in our care. How about the hands of Lane Albright? 4 touchdown passes, 330 yards. Those are both career highs.
It should also be noted that he has 2 touchdowns on the ground as well.
100 yards rushing mixed in. I can't pick the player of the game right now. I'm in a tangle of players. Mahfooth, Albright, short kickoff. And of course, Jaydon Blair.
Say Mahfooth twice.
Maybe Mahfooth. Okay, so clock will run here for the next 9 minutes because of the score differential. Dave, what do you got for player of the game?
Right. 60-yard touchdown run, 1-yard touchdown run, 23-yard touchdown pass, 67-yard touchdown pass, 9-yard touchdown pass, 14-yard touchdown pass. No brainer.
Lane Albright gets the vote. Okay, Dave, I like what you're dropping. Just a fan of Mahfooth. Here's a deep shot. Ethan Driver the catch. Driver keeps turning. Nice first down. He's the best receiver by numbers in the CPC, and what a threat on the outside.
I think it's interesting to note that we've got guys across the board. You either go with a top-tier recruit going to Notre Dame, 4 catches for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. You got Mahfooth, who has 2 touchdowns and a pick. Kamari Shell has 2 interceptions this game. Or the quarterback who has 6 total touchdowns.
Or John Coles with a WWE takedown on the tackle.
This comes down to the wire. I mean, right now it seems like it's either Albright or Mahfooth.
We have to start doing 50-50 raffles to the people in the seat and say, who's your vote for player of the game? Our My 48 play of the game and our Carolina Classic Fair player of the game. Nance, a lot of time. Finds Driver, second catch of the drive. Driver up the sideline. Driver cuts it back into the 20. I love how Ethan Driver can evade tackles.
And I love how Drayton was able to pull that football down. Wanted to go take a shot deep down the field, couldn't find a man down there. Smartly pulls it back in, gets it to his all-everything receiver in Ethan Driver. And then after that, it's the one after the catch ability.
50th catch of the year. That's second best in the state as Bowling gets spun down. Driver led the CPC in receiving last year as a junior. He's done even better here as a senior. And he trails just Mike Trent Curry of Walkertown for the state lead in receiving yards.
It's right here in the same area as well.
The Triad is the passing region of the state. More throwing. End zone. And oh no, he dropped it. Oh, the double chance at a pick. Oh, Jalen Springs through the fingertips. Demare White through the butter-filled popcorn hands. A lot of chances there for Tabor.
It's another shot deep down the field. And this is one that you want Drayton Nance to not throw. Look how many defenders are surrounding that end zone area. That is easily an interception 9 out of 10 times.
Second chance for Nance. And, whoa, he throws a prayer. Is that grounding?
Yeah.
Okay, it is.
Now here's the interesting discussion with that. If it were a lateral,
is it a fumble?
It's a fumble, and it's not intentional grounding.
And you get the ball where it goes out of bounds.
Correct.
Okay. So I think that's what's being discussed here with Chris Bergen.
I guess they're just going to let it go as a flag that time. Not questioning whether it is a lateral or not.
So for the meantime, the clock does not run. We'll get that all figured out in a second. Drayton Nance now on 4th and the game. How about this? Nance finds Driver.
So close.
But is he short? No, he's short.
Wow.
Oh, no. What an effort here by Driver.
Just comes back and dives, and it's diving that brings him back past where he had to get to pick up the first. Great catch. But because he has to make a diving attempt for that football, he cannot get to that yardage marker to pick up the first down.
Okay, now the clock starts to run. Everyone on the same page. It takes a team. We do thank all the folks here at Davie County for making our week really helpful with interviews, setting up the press box, you name it. Our friends at Capital Metals, our friends at Cook Reynolds, our friends at Mountain Fried Chicken, our friends at the Carolina Classic Fair. A lot of friends this week. There's the 5th tailback of the night to tote the rock for Mount Tabor. It's Jock Hunter. You think about explosive running games in the state. Mount Tabor didn't come in as an elite running team, just 145 yards a game, but they've doubled that production tonight.
It's been impressive on all facets. Offensively, very easily their best game of the season.
Shell got tripped up, and I think he got the first.
Yeah, moves the chains. Another tough run by Shell, working inside those blockers, still getting movement up front.
And everyone knows the Jump On It song. You know, once the music starts playing, you got to join in the fun on the offensive line. When you run the ball or had 500 total yards tonight,
you got to ride the dance.
Kamari Shell, jump on it, jump on it. He'll get a couple and drag down. Even to the final minutes, good tackles here by the backup linebacker, Skylar Whittington. What makes this Mount Tabor team dangerous come playoff time?
Well, running the football. And it's the hard-nosed, old-school style of football that they traditionally play. Running the football with authority, playing aggressively on defense, coming downhill, being the aggressor. But this is the other element that we've seen tonight, is that they can throw the football. And if they can do that successfully and efficiently, adds an entirely different wrinkle to what they can do.
Albright slings it incompletion. That's a rare one tonight. He was previously 20 of 25. The Davidson commit, who joins Scott Abel's offense next year, a powerhouse in the Pioneer Football League.
So many years, Davidson really hadn't been good since, I believe, around like the 40s or 50s.
I thought you were going to say Steph Curry, but that's the wrong sport.
Yeah, wrong sport, right. I mean, I'm sure Steph would have been a pretty good football player too. But now the last couple of years, they've done really well. They're getting some good recruiting classes in there, guys who fit their program and what they're looking for schematically. Lane Albright's going to fit in just perfectly there down in Davidson.
That's a non-scholarship but high academic league, the Pioneer Football League. Jim Harbaugh coached there at San Diego 2 decades ago. And there's a first down catch with the penalty possibly. Caden Crowell, the reception.
Not San Diego State.
No, USD.
San Diego.
Yeah, the home of Jenny Craig.
Correct.
San Diego.
Yep. How about this pass by Lane Albright as we talk about the Pioneer League and the Davidson Wildcats. Get out there, make another accurate throw on the run. Very good at that. Again, going with your body leads them out of bounds. Sometimes you lead the football when you're going along with it. Accurate pass down the field.
And this should be coming back. Mount Tabor does have to be cautious of these penalties. That's 10 penalties tonight. Yep. I know a lot of backups are in, but that's something that I guarantee you Tyshawn Brown will mention to Dave.
Always things to clean up.
Final 3 minutes here in Mocksville. Albright through the hands of Shell. Now remember, the clock is running here with the score differential. And how about our player of the game? There's so many to choose from, Mark, and Mount Tabor dominant tonight.
And you know who it's going to be?
Mahfooth!
Jaydon Mahfooth, an animal tonight. The game of his high school life this evening in Mocksville. The long touchdown run in the first quarter opens things up. An interception in the second quarter to continue the onslaught, and why not add a couple more highlights in the second half. The deflection to Driver in the end zone, and then the very next drive.
Give him 2 scores.
What a game for Jaydon Mahfooth, as he is our Carolina Classic Fair player of the game.
Lane Albright was excellent as well. We don't want to diminish his efforts, but Mahfooth had a career night. And now this punt will give Davie County the football back. How about our My 48 play of the game, and Jadon Blair, the Notre Dame commit, putting on a show.
Sure did. All first half long, made several plays, offensively, defensively, none bigger than this absolute dime down the field from Albright. Catches it in stride up over the top.
You just got mossed.
By Gavin Reese, could not do anything. And there, the snare, the run, And the stretch to get into the end zone.
And the awareness here to cut it back.
Right here, underneath 2 defenders. Just a great play. That's your My 48 play of the game.
Looks like we have a timeout call to this change of possession. Tyshawn Brown noted after a 2-game week last week, played Monday and Friday, getting bodies fresh before the home stretch. Mount Tabor's clicking on all cylinders right now.
And really think, I mean, if they don't play that game on Monday, where they're a little
probably
more
win
fresh,
Friday.
right? So I mean, we can't say maybe they win, but they have a better chance, I think, because they're more rested at that point. Now, hypothetical, that's not what happened. They have to move on from it. But this has been one heck of a response from Mount Tabor. Again, not perfect. There have been penalties. There have been some turnovers, some miscommunications. Anything can be improved on a weekly basis. Pretty good game, though, for the Spartans.
We got a lot of new faces on the field for both teams. That was the challenge for Tyshawn Brown this week. So a chance to introduce a lot of new names, which I always love at the high school level. National, regional television, national exposure on YouTube and Facebook.
On the flip side, though, Davie County now 2-5. You go into the last parts of your schedule.
Not out of it, though, just yet. You win 2 of those games, and you're at 4-6, and you probably make the playoffs.
Makes a huge difference. West Forsyth, Parkland on the road, and then back home against Glenn, in which could very well be a game that determines which one of those teams moves on to the postseason.
Final 2 minutes here in the 4th. Nance avoids pressure. Oh, and the coach gets a pick. They love it. I mean, everyone's catching the football for Mount Tabor tonight.
Sign of a good team, isn't it?
Celebrating the coach.
Yeah, tight knit.
He'll be a lot better. When
Players always excited to see their coaches get in, relive the glory days a little bit.
Well, the team's got 4 picks themselves. You got to enjoy the fun.
Yeah, man.
Nance feeds it. Pelote breaks it. Pelote dragged down. He's short of the first. These teams are playing hard, though, even in the final minute.
Yeah. Again, you want to put something good on film here. One, if you're Davie, because you want to find some positivity. No points here in the second half, but still able to move the ball a little bit. And then for these defenders on Mount Tabor, a lot of them don't usually see playing time. You get out there, you get some burn on the field, some playing time in your favor. Got to put something good on film. Feel good about yourself.
Davie County can basically run one more play, and this will wrap things up. A CPC rivalry. Nance on 3rd down. He's done a lot of this tonight. Scramble. Oh, and a pick. 5 interceptions. Now a chance for a house call. Springs cuts it. Jalen Springs adding to a Mount Tabor dominant night.
Another deep pass. The Spartans were just sitting on, waiting for that ball to be unleashed by Nance down the field, and they capitalize for a 5th time as Springs is getting mobbed by his teammates.
What a dominant performance for Tyshawn Brown's Mount Tabor Spartans. A fun night in the CPC. We'll wrap things up when we return to Moxville. welcome back to Davie County High School. How about Dave Gorham with the winning head coach?
All right, thanks very much, Evan. Tyshawn Brown, head coach at Mount Tabor. You guys win at 52-7. May not have been the cleanest game that you wanted to see, but you got the job done here tonight.
Yes, sir. The important thing, we wanted to get a W tonight and come out injury-free. I think we did that.
A lot of great individual performances that add up to a team win. I think as a coach, you can't have anything better than that.
Right, man. Lane and Jaydon Blair was connecting tonight. Our running backs ran the ball hard. I'm proud of our defense, man. We played a good game.
Halfway through the conference season, you like where you are?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, it's all about trying to, you know, win each game and get better each week.
Well, you're the champions of tonight's Friday night rivals game, and for that, you get a trophy. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. All right, Devin, let's go back up to you.
How about the Mount Tabor Spartans celebrating, having themselves a fun night where Lane Albright throws for 330 yards. Let's take a look at tonight's Linder Turf and Tractor scoring summary. Linder Turf and Tractor, your choice for Kubota construction and agricultural equipment in the Greensboro Triad area. 52-7. Close in that first quarter, then all Mount Tabor late.
Yeah, absolutely. You just go on an absolute tear late in the football game, get the job done. 40 unanswered from the Spartans of Mount Tabor after the first quarter. Impressive showing overall for them moving forward, and of course they've got a long slate of games in front of them. Big time implications for the CPC going down to the wire.
Tabor's won 3 straight now over Davie County league rivals. We want to thank Capital Metals in High Point for the plaque and the trophy, Cook Reynolds for the Enzo Mountain Fried Chicken, and Patriot Pretzel Company for the pretzels for tonight's halftime pretzel stacking contest. And of course, the Carolina Classic Fair. You guys have been great all year, and the fair continues all weekend. Finally, to the high schools and their admin for their support of the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals broadcast. Next week, we got Ledford and Oak Grove, a 3A battle with Adrian Snow joining us, one of the best in the area, right here on My 48. Thanks for joining us tonight, our talented crew, Mark Cover, Dave Gorham, Evan Budrovich. We say good night from Moxville.